Andrew, I need to get your number before we leave, because I've been trying to have Scott, my manager, get a hold of you. We got several cars that we need to post.
Okay.
One of them in particular is a big Sterling truck.
What? And he couldn't come to get it or what?
Well, no.
Oh, your own
Scott couldn't list it.
I don't know how you do it.
Because you don't have something for a Sterling or whatever.
Okay.
So I gave Scott your business card, and he's been telling me I can't get a hold of him. I can't get a hold of him. I can't.
Because he doesn't realize.
So I need to get your number so Scott can maybe just call you
By the
directly.
way, you need to get another website. Now, this name you can keep.
Okay.
Get another one. And do you understand you can have more than one URL if you go to a website, right? Like, for example, TomMartino.com, Troubleshooter.com, and Referralist.com all go to the referral.
Got it. Okay.
You're such a major
client. Okay. And this is another thing. Why people think the name of their business must be in the website. They don't realize you don't have to. So budget-a1.com is terrible. Okay. So it doesn't even say what you did. It would be better to have marksfixcars.com. You know, you do something. So let's come up with one. Okay. Okay. Now, when do you want that new logo? I can in anyway. Sure. Because it's really good. And
sure, I do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You know I created one for you.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
I'm going to give you the master files, and then if you use it, it will be fantastic. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love that spot. I'll tell you one thing today, like, if you're talking about Blinker and you want someone to list their car, they can put a code in there, Martino, and A, we can track it, but also, you guys get 25 bucks a listing to everyone that converts.
So, I wouldn't mind that. Yeah.
Well, as Pelosi says, that's peanuts.
Yeah, exactly.
Is he going to get a chance to explain how Blinker works?
We've done it a million times. We always do.
Some cars, the valve covers, the spark plugs go through the through the valve cover.
People
tube seals leak and they fill with oil. Right. That's what shorted out. I need an explainer. I can change them. You don't do the valve covers. This is going to have right. She had the money for the She had the money for the courses.
So you put on the invoice and recommend. Oh, you got to. Because even though you told the customer 3, 4, 5 times.
No, she's complaining. It's just
it comes back. Misfire on. Hey, I already told you. No, you didn't. You didn't say that.
Oh, yeah. It turns into.
I told you 3 or 4 times.
I'm not worried about the legality.
Yeah, no.
They're reaching out to the shop.
We have insurance and all those things when you sell it or sell it.
Yeah,
it's because it's mostly like they don't know what's happening. Yeah, it's definitely a high price. But you got the experience of how easy it is to list it and all that.
I just did it really as it's just broke.
And that's what I answered.
You're right. It wasn't a
I just
we didn't make it happen.
Well, that's why I finally just said,
and so I had to
keep taking it.
Yeah. Get them out.
She wore me down.
She wore you down.
She did. Wore you down. Yeah. Apparently she's coming back for more.
You know what? What's his name? Al. Just had to go small things for him, and she just would not.
Welcome.
Hi.
How are you?
That's got to be pretty extreme if you went that far with it.
Let me know.
Nope, you're fine. I can barely see
Wonderful,
anything.
but I have artifacts. Because virtually all of my blind spots are out.
Right, exactly.
I don't want to mention shit. So I'm going to drop
a place
off
for you guys,
and you're going to literally delete everything.
Put on a thing saying, just watch out for this.
Oh God, I talked about that several times. This was years back. You know, like a BDD for bad customers. Right.
It's hard to cheat.
The insurance company
Watch out.
Have a thing that keeps track of people's social security number.
Oh wow.
Andrew, what do you explain? What do you actually do? I mean, it's not for radio.
Wow.
Yeah. My whole background's in marketing, and Blinker run the marketing and the whole industry of the app itself. Yeah.
Oh God, that would be great.
The aesthetic.
Well, there's an app you can start up. Problem customers.
Watch out.
There you go.
Place for businesses.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are solving problems. And yes, it is the longest running show currently on the air with the same host and I would say, the most prolific when it comes to direct help. I mean, really think about it. How many people help people? Now, you know, you have great advice shows, of course. You have political shows. You have spiritual shows. You have all kinds of shows. Sports shows. But who gets directly down there and has all of their deputies and our researchers and our sponsors at referralist.com who come to the fore, the experts, and we solve problems. And we track it. Not a year goes by that we don't recover at least $20 million on and off the air in cash, merchandise exchanges, refunds, and services. And if you add that up, that's hundreds of millions of dollars. In my career, thank you for being part of this effort. Pass the word around. Nothing like it. You know, people love it. That's why we're the most downloaded show around. And live on iHeart radio app, live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and of course on our beautiful radio stations. So call 303-MARTINO 24/7 and you'll get help 24/7. Pass it around. 303-MARTINO, no matter where you live. Of course, we cater to our people in Colorado, but we will help anyone. And when we're on the air, you can call, well, you can call that number all the time. It'll automatically come to the studio when we're on the air. But you can also call direct to the studio right now, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Today is Car Day. We have a bunch of people. That's all I'm going to say. We always have a bunch of people with Car Day. They're great people. I'm going to introduce them as we go on and they talk. But here's the deal with Car Day. We don't talk about just cars. However, it is our emphasis to talk about cars. Before I go on, I have to say something. Because I live in awe of this person. Not many people just strike me with awe. I want to hate the man, but I can't hate him. I want to. Tom Brady is handsome. He has a supermodel wife. He has beautiful children. And he's been to the Super Bowl 8 times. And the man, I want to hate him, but I can't. He's even nice. People want to call him a cheat. People want to call him this and call him that. He lives in a beautiful mansion, beautiful kids, beautiful wife. I mean, come on. What did this guy do that God smiled at him like this? What did he do? He works his butt off 8 times. 8 times in the Super Bowl. He's definitely the greatest. I mean, we just went ape crap over Elway. I mean, Elway's good. I mean, he's good. He's natural. But he's nothing like Tom Brady. Nothing. Not even close to Tom Brady. Now, is it a coincidence that we both have the first, Tom is the first name? I don't know. Does that inspire greatness? Does that have anything to do with... Hey, listen, let's keep going. All right? Right now, we have an emergency I'm going to take with Jay with a truck stolen, so I'll take him first. Then we'll move on to all of you. And remember, you can call about anything, not just cars, but we're going to talk about cars too. Jay, what's happening?
Hey, Tom.
Hey.
Wednesday night, someone stole a truck from me.
Ah, is it your primary vehicle?
It was my secondary vehicle, but it was very important to me, and it took me forever to find such a nice example.
What year?
It was a 99 F-250 4x Super Duty.
How long have you had it?
Oh, I think I bought it maybe last May.
What makes the 150, since that's a lightweight truck, but what makes it a Super Duty? Or is that just marketing?
That's 250, said.
And that's Kevin Culkin from Sheridan Auto Tech. Oh, he said the 250.
250, yeah.
What makes it heavy duty? Is it just the marketing?
Springs, axles, brakes, driveline, everything.
Kevin Culkin, Sheridan Auto Tech, he's with us today. And what about this 1999 Ford F-250? Was it recovered yet?
No.
It's best if it's not. Jay,
yeah.
When it comes to cars being taken and hiked, you do not want the car back. You hope they don't recover it, because then they screw around with you trying to get it fixed, and no one ever feels right about a car stolen. People feel better about cars and vehicles when they are in a crash and fixed than they do when they're stolen, because it kind of has cooties. There's something about it. So let's keep going. What do you need?
Basically, it took me forever to find one when I was looking for it. That wasn't worn out, a piece of junk.
You do have coverage,
low
right?
miles.
You do have.
Yeah, I do have comp and collision full coverage.
Okay, so what about it?
I was looking at the Blue Book, and it's so far from reality.
Of course it is.
These things sell for. I'm thinking they're going to look in the Blue Book if it doesn't show up and offer me something ridiculous.
Well, they're going to, Jay, because with people like you, or people that have classics or antiques, you have to do what's called a stated value. And then you pay for that stated value. You were not paying for a truck worth what you think it's worth. You were paying for a 1999 F-250.
Okay, can I make them at least find me one?
No.
With similar miles, similar...
No, yes, you can. You can't make them find you one. You can make them take that into consideration for value. But, Jay, let's just suffice it to say, you're never going to get what it's worth. Never. You're not.
Okay.
I'd like you to, but you're not. Let's talk about this truck. How many miles?
It's a 99, had about 170 on it.
And what made it special? What made it?
It was no rust, no dents, no Bondo, clean interior, electric everything, door locks, switches. It was just loaded, had the fancy wheels.
And when did you, how many miles did you put on it? How long did you own it?
I probably hadn't put 5,000 miles on it.
Okay, so how long have you had it?
Like I said, I think about it just about the beginning of May. And
right.
It was just the nicest.
Anyway, so I know what you're calling about because we get this call a lot. What are you going to do about value? First, they're going to come. It's going to insult you. What's the Blue Book on it?
Like 3,000.
Yeah, you're going to be offered less. Now you can take into consideration sales tax. What do you think? Well, what did you pay for it?
6, and I'll tell you, I've been looking on Craigslist and all kinds of car sites, and to find one like mine is about 7.
Okay.
They're all either just worn out 300,000 mile trucks,
now
or
Mark,
the nice one is crazy high.
My colleague Mark Major, he has become somewhat of an expert at a few things because he's experienced them. One of them is fighting for insurance value. I heard him do it. And he got them from he hiked them 10 grand from what they offered. 10 grand. It wasn't an old car, but he put their feet to the fire and made them justify everything. And they finally they increased it till he got what he wanted, $10,000 more. So you're going to have to first make them tell you where they source the price and their research method. And you're going to simply hold their feet to the fire and make them look around. If there are none available at 3, you're not going to take 3. That's it.
There are none.
You're not going to take it. And you have to start going out and gathering not listing value, but sale value. What did they sell for? Because no one cares about listing. And people that sold vehicles are happy to tell you. If you call and they say it's been sold, just call and say, look, I'm doing research. Here's my situation. They usually will do stuff like that for you. They'll take care of it.
They're usually pretty kind.
Yes, they are. So start researching and then call us back, okay, because we don't have a problem yet. Call us back and we'll help you. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Lots going on here on the Troubleshooter Show, as you can imagine. This hour brought to you by Fix-It 24/7. Oh, my God, I can't even tell you what they've done for me. Do you know, I had a boiler go out, and I'm thinking, why does it have to be replaced? Can you fix it? Okay, do you want to hear this? I didn't realize this, because Steph had bought this house so many years ago. And I actually, when I was her buddy, her friend, I helped her buy it back in the 90s, and the boiler goes out, right? And I said, can you find a heat exchanger for it? He says, what, are you kidding me? It was 70 years old. 70 years old. And anyway, to make a long story short, you will not find better service than Fix-It 24/7. So here's what you get for $39. For $39, you get an expert in your home to diagnose a problem. Plumbing, heating, or cooling. Obviously, we're talking about heating now and plumbing. An expert in your home for $39. No matter how long it takes, they will find the problem. And here's the big deal. If they find the problem and present you with it, you have no obligation to get it fixed, but you will want to, because you'll never find a company to do it at a better price for the same work. And when I say the same work, I mean truly the best value anywhere. And I know that from this boiler, and I know it from all the other work they've done for me. And here's the deal about it. They will credit you even the $39 if you have the work done. Now, I go way back with George, some 25 years. He moved away for a while and came back and then took over Fix It 24/7, and he is building one of the fastest growing, it is the fastest growing company in Colorado. A great guy, a great company, a great culture, honesty and integrity, knowledge and experience. For $39, you will experience it. Fix It 24/7, 720-526-3939, in honor of the $39 service call. Fully credited when you have the work done, 720-526-3939.
Trucks. People down there buy these to
Stephanie and I were talking about that. We are in, we're in Arizona, right? And people have SUVs in California. Why do they need SUVs?
They'll buy a,
I have a little convertible truck. Why do they have those?
It's a status thing there. Instead of buying a Cadillac or Mercedes, they buy the biggest damn truck. And they're beautiful.
Axles are so cheap now.
Scratches the bed.
And I don't know, I haven't had any problems with aftermarket axles that I can remember. I mean, I've had some problems with them. To me, though, I'd rather, on a lower mileage car, replace the CV boot rather than just replace the whole axle.
It just depends on how much grease is still in there when we look at it. If
Very
it's clicking,
true.
it's
If it's clicking and wow.
or the grease has been
Arthur
thrown
Hernandez
for a
developed a process for rebuilding those axles. It's called Quick Fix. They actually sold those.
Hey, Tom, Mark text saying that they did release at least part of memo.
Right.
The problem with that thing though is the Chinese axles are not rebuilt.
I don't know enough about it.
The aftermarket
Can you
has
find out
changed.
about it?
Because the guy that used to own
I brought up my brother's
I met him when he was doing those with a Dremel in his backyard.
Basically says that they never would have got that FISA warrant if they wouldn't have the steel report.
Because you can't get rebuilt.
And it was fake.
The steel report
What's your
partially
last name?
fake. It
I
all,
don't know.
Remember that one company,
That was the one that-
CBJ axles?
Yeah. They're still around.
That was Bush.
Are they still around?
That was Bush. That's who, the guy that
Oh, okay, right.
sold it to them.
I'm surprised they're still around because, again, I don't know what they charge to reboot an axle, but for a couple bucks, $20 more, you get a brand new one.
Box the size of a refrigerator full of box full of boots.
Sure.
They get them for like almost nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
A lot of the boots are standard size. Or
Well, we used to go down there to Rocky Mountain Drive Line and buy them. Because you get a bag of clamps for $10. You know, this
Really?
this clamp
Guys,
clamp.
do you know about my boiler? Listen to this. It had so many cracks it never leaked. You want to know why? Because it was calcified. The minerals
It just filled
covered
itself
the
in.
cracks. So the damn thing. So why did it go bad all of
Wow.
a sudden? I'll tell you what.
Hard water?
No, we popped a line in the crawl space that drained some of the water, and this doesn't have a low water cutoff. I don't even think it has a high temperature cutoff. So it started getting low in water. It was going
boiling, yeah.
because it was too hot, and so I think some of the calcium broke free.
Oh.
And they came and fixed the line, and we filled it back up. And he said, "Let's just, it's running fine." But then it popped. You can see it leaking. So he said, "Tom, come on, man, you're not going to fix this. It's 70 years old."
70?
No, that's what he thinks it is, because it was not it was manufactured before that, but they're going back to some other thing. He said literally it was manufactured 85 or 90 years ago.
Holy
manufactured then.
Yeah, they really last.
And if it wasn't such hard water, it'd probably still be going.
No, hard water is what kept it.
What kept it together?
I'm surprised it lasted that long.
Yeah.
I mean, the life expectancy in a hot water heater is what, 10,
But this is
15
the boiler.
It's a boiler.
Oh,
If
okay.
you see the heat exchanger,
Okay.
the heat, it's okay. It's this big.
The old ones are huge.
This big,
Oh,
right?
okay,
Okay, this
okay.
big. This is the whole thing. The heat exchanger is about this big. Do you know what? It weighs 400 pounds.
Wow. How much is a brand new unit? That,
We're on Wi-Fi. Okay, I'll tell you. If you have this job done from these fucking highway robbers, it would be 18 grand. Retail. the unit itself is about 3,500. Okay. But labor and all that prevents. But
how long did it take them to put it in?
I got wholesale. I got costs because of our doors.
Pretty big job.
It took all day, 10 hours.
Trying to drag that in over the crawl space?
Yeah, because you have to evacuate all the water in the house. Yep. Not the water in the house, in the system. And then burping that son of a bitch is terrible because you have the way they used to do it is you had a straight line, and then they would put a radiator or the heat exchanger in T's, but you have a straight line. So how do you get the air out of those?
Yep.
It's so hard.
It's like what?
You didn't loop through it.
It doesn't go like this. It goes like this with a loop on top.
Mine goes straight.
Well, this is old, man.
Oh, okay. Well,
it's old.
Holy crap.
Any old plumbing.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I introduced Kevin Culkin from Sheridan Auto Tech. He's one of our experts. And then you heard chiming in Mark Machowski, Budget, A1 Transmission, and Auto Repair. Both of them heritage companies who I'm proud to have on my referral list at referralist.com. Also joining the fray, a company we have on now and then, Blinker.com. I love the ease of Blinker, and I'll get you the benefit of that. It's not just a place to list your car. People say, there's Auto Trader, there's this, there's that, there's Craigslist. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. But when you use Blinker, there's a distinct advantage, okay? It doesn't just list your car. It treats you as, it does the back-end office for you as if you are a dealer. You know, when somebody owes money on a car, you don't know where to go. What do? Do you go to their bank? I mean, people ask me this, they owe money. They want me to give them the money to pay off the car, but I can't get the title yet. You know, so how do you do that mess? Do you know what a bond is? Do you know what an envelope draft is they used to do? Do you know what the paperwork you need to secure yourself when you do not have a title? You're not going to pay a guy up front so he can pay off his car. He doesn't have enough money to pay it off and then sell it. That's a quandary. Not only that, what about a trade? What if you had a trade, right? You can't take a trade. Now, Blinker doesn't take trades yet, but they have a way that the guy who wants to trade, he can just sell it and then apply the money electronically to his new car. He can do all this without ever seeing the person and then have the money from his old car. In fact, it's better in that he doesn't have to get wholesale for the car. He can sell it for as much as he wants. The other thing about it is, the biggest thing, the biggest #1 advantage, you want to know what it is? If I have a car listed, which I did, and somebody wants to buy it, and they don't have the money, how do you go to the bank with a car you want to buy and do that? No, they will arrange lending right over the app. So it turns you into a dealer. You can sell your car to someone, and instead of holding the paper for someone you know at work, or someone you know, or your brother or sister, let them get their own loan, and they can do it through Blinker. It's that easy. So I don't even know why people wouldn't use it. Do you want to know why? There is no charge. You can list it, no charge. So I don't understand it. So I want to welcome Andrew. Andrew's one of the back-end people. Not a nerd. He's more of a marketer. Andrew, Blinker.com. It's astounding to me what it does. I don't think any other app does it.
No, no one else does it. Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Now,
happy to be here.
What you need are member wholesale dealers who will quote wholesale immediately to get the trade thing going. That's the one thing you're lacking. I hate to concentrate on one tiny thing because so many other benefits, no matter what, you do more than most apps. Are you thinking about trades ever?
Absolutely.
Oh,
this year.
That will be, oh my God, the coup d'etat. Think about it. Anyone can take a car, get their bid, and people might say, well, I don't want to get wholesale. That's what you do when you go to a dealer. No matter what they tell you, you're getting wholesale.
Yeah.
I don't care what they tell you, you're getting wholesale. And you pay less tax on the trade, but it's still a good deal, even without that.
Yeah, our whole platform is about empowering people to be able to buy and sell.
You're making them a dealer.
Exactly.
You're making them a dealer.
The one thing that's missing that we're adding, by spring ideally, would be some way to be able to, because not everyone's ready to just, when you go private party, it takes a little while to sell your car sometimes.
Yeah.
And sometimes people don't have that luxury. So the ability to be able to come to Blinker, trade your car in, and buy a car off our platform is where we're going.
Or just sell your car wholesale if you wanted to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, there's all kinds of things. And I think do you guys have stuff for in the business, people call loans, auto loans are made to people to make money, right? And the bigger the risk, the higher the interest rate. Now, they have very low interest rates for regular loans. Do you guys have loans for people with questionable credit?
Yeah. We everything from super prime down to a subprime, kind of like a 560 credit score.
That's incredible. 303-713-TALK.
Yeah.
713-8255. Welcome to the show. Let's talk. Jeannie's been waiting a while. Jeannie, what's happening?
Yes, I had purchased the car back in October, used, obviously. And from the time I drove it off the lot, it stalls when I come to a stop.
What year is it?
It's a 2003.
Before you bought it, did you notice the problem?
No. Well, the check engine light was on.
And I see here on the computer, it's a Subaru. So,
yes.
Did you have it checked by an independent mechanic?
I did not
at
the time.
That's okay. And why this happens, I don't understand. Why people do not take a car to have it checked, I don't understand it. So, I mean, I'm not chastising you. I'm trying to help my listeners right now. Don't do that. Now.
Right. Well, my mechanic actually works for the gentleman I purchased this from.
Oh, that's okay. When you say your mechanic, but he works there, what do you mean?
He worked on my Mustang when I had it. That's how I knew him.
Okay, I can see where you would trust him. So then what happened? You had this problem ever since you bought it, and you've owned it for now, how long?
I haven't made my fourth payment on it yet,
okay.
So going on 4 months.
Okay, so let's talk about it.
So the day I purchased it, I was back there that night with it because the engine light came back on.
Yeah.
They said it was the camshaft sensor.
Yeah.
They replaced that.
Oh, they did? Wait, they did that on their own?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
As I pulled off the lot again, light came back on, but they were, at that point had closed, so I went back the next day.
I don't want you to walk me through every problem. I want you to summarize. How many things did they attempt or did they fix? How many things did they do? Just one?
That was it.
Okay, then what?
They told me that it needed an O2 sensor. The gentleman said that he was going to purchase it after calling him for a month and a half saying, hey, did you... You
understand they don't owe you anything, so I don't understand that part. You knew that, right, Jeannie? You knew that no matter what was wrong with it, that they don't owe you anything. Nothing.
Right.
Okay.
My only issue was the gentleman I purchased the car from had told me he would fix whatever the engine light is.
Did he put that on the that on the we owe statement or anything in writing?
Of course not.
Okay. The reason I'm asking this, not to make you feel bad, I want to make this clear. It's for people listening. You're a pawn. You're but a pawn, Jeannie.
Right.
On a serious note, when people call, I like to make things generic for people. So that's another thing. If people make promises, I've heard this a million times. One of the most common things I hear with a used car thing is, it's called the I made it clear statement. Here's what they say. Well, I made it clear I was going to be using this in the mountains. Or I made it clear I was going to be commuting to work every day. Or I made it clear this was for my teenage son. And they say that as if it's some kind of contractual arrangement. So this guy said he would fix it. So if we call him right now and say, hello, Jeannie said you promised to fix it, what would they say?
He would tell you that he fixed the camshaft sensor and that was it.
That's what he thought it was. He fixed it, but the light's still on. What would he say?
Mm-hmm.
What would he say? The light's still on, sir.
Yep.
What would he say?
He wouldn't say anything.
Okay. Who is he?
Tell you,
who is he?
His name is Brett.
What is Brett the owner?
Yes.
Brett what?
X-Line, I think is his last name.
And what is the name of the dealership?
B Quality Auto Check.
B Quality. Jeez, that's weird. He's admitting right off the bat he's not A. Okay.
Right. His slogan is, if you wanted A, go somewhere else.
What? Hold on. Oh, my God. This guy has a slogan, if you want A, go somewhere else?
Yep.
This is unbelievable.
Well, sounds like she got B.
Yeah. No. She got C. Okay, Jeannie, let's speed forward. Do you know what's wrong, yes or no?
Right now, I took it and had it checked on Saturday by somebody else.
By who? By who?
Bishop Automotive.
Okay, I don't know him. Okay.
It needs a mass airflow sensor.
Oh, not bad.
which I have ordered. It is coming in.
Good.
There's also some missing parts under the car. The sway bar is missing.
Well, Jeannie, that's as is. That's
Right.
sister. That's it. So now what?
By
the way, if there are some things, if they're missing, the sale could be deemed illegal. And if it's deemed illegal, they have to rescind it. There are certain safety items. So when you say sway bar in the suspension, that might be part of it. I don't know. What else is missing? Jeannie? Did she hang up? Okay. I think we got disconnected. What were you going to say?
I hope she bought it from a dealer and it has it wrong. It would have had to pass emissions for the sale.
That's true, too. She had a 3-day coupon. They give 3 days, so. Huh?
It's been 4 months.
It's been 4 months. That's too late. I assume. I mean, she hung up, so, but that is true. That's one of them. Daniel says a shop ruined his engine. This is pretty serious. What's going on, Daniel?
Hello, Tom.
Hey, man. Wait. Tell me about your car first. What year is it?
It's a 2007, but it's a high-end Avalon.
That's okay, but how many miles on it?
A little bit less than 200,000.
Okay, and how long have you owned it?
Almost 2 years.
Okay, now what I need to know is what did you take it to the shop for to begin with?
I took it in for an oil change, and that's all. And my engine seized up within a week of the oil change.
Okay, hold on. We'll come and talk about that. That is pretty serious stuff. Oh, man, that is terrible. Terrible. Hey, go for the gold. What does that mean? You know the Olympics are here, right? Are you going to watch the Olympics? Or, of course, the Super Bowl everybody's thinking about. But if you're going to watch the Olympics, everyone wants to go for the gold. And that's what K&H Windows are doing. They're honoring the Olympics with their special, and that is Go for the Gold. Windows and siding sale. Listen to this. If you get a minimum of 1,000 square feet of siding, most houses will, let them measure your home. And you get the entire project price for the siding, and you subtract $6,200, $6,200, and that is commemorating the 62 years K&H has been in business. That is one hell of a savings on top of their already value pricing, and I mean that. $6,200. They're not marking something up to mark it down. I know them. I've known them for the entire time I've been in Colorado. This company's 62 years old, and Ted, the owner that I'm friends with, I've known him for years. I've known him for 25 years or more. The window special, buy 3, get 1 free with a minimum purchase of 6. So you have the Go for the Gold windows and siding sale. The first window company on my referral list at referralist.com. By the way, Energy Star, this independent rating agency, has named K&H Windows, the manufacturer of their windows, the Energy Star Partner of the Year. So you get energy efficiency, savings, beauty, durability, and home value. KHWindows.com, 303-421-7100. You can schedule your own appointments, KHWindows.com. That's KHWindows.com.
I've got a dealer's license. There's a car required to pass in time of sale.
Well, you get
either a voucher or they present you with the emission. Yes, it does have to be in compliance at the time of sale, but you get a 3-day window only. You cannot go on a 4th or 5th or 6th day and say, well, this couldn't have happened yesterday.
She had a check implant on when she sold it.
It doesn't matter.
Really?
She took it and did not go, okay, I'm going to play that game.
Jeannie's back
Prove
on
it.
line 1.
Prove what? That the engine light was on.
No, like I say, it tells it.
Prove it. Okay,
But that's
so
why you
that
can
doesn't
take
work, right?
72 hours.
That's what I'm getting at.
Emissions, it's in writing.
She should have taken it in right away.
Exactly.
Yes. Or they gave her an admission to valid admission. They let her know the day
Like,
before.
you gotta keep it right, because she just brings that up.
Most of them
I
don't.
do it, but you're not hearing me in this, and I'm not sure why you're not hearing me. I don't know if you need to turn up the volume.
We got a dealership and we
You get 99
Dan?
or 79 and free, whatever. Everybody says they always bring up, they don't remember exactly.
They buy these trucks down there all winter
It's
long.
delayed, what does that
My
mean?
dad comes back and they're shipped back here.
He's talking
They sell
and
them,
it's
and
not.
they buy a truck
not
down there,
cute.
a dually crew cab diesel.
I'll try to figure out if it's
Tow their
before or
boat
after.
or with, or just to drive to work. There's no tractors in the beds.
Yeah.
It's completely different.
Bitcoin.
People don't get really clean trucks.
No, I don't.
I don't know anything about it, actually.
Below 8,000.
Yeah, 99 was a decent truck. It was certainly not like a collector or
Which is
anything.
still way more than it should be.
99, well, he didn't say it was a diesel.
Yeah, he said a 250. He didn't say
You know, I think
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, we only buy the diesels.
You know why I think Bitcoin's getting held up?
My brother's
I
got
understand.
99.
What's about
I swear to bury him in
It's
it.
all
He loves that old
digital.
No, it's a
right?
crew cab
So they
single
don't-
axle F350.
And you can't track it.
You gotta have a kidney belt to ride in.
But there is a fee to use.
I'm like, no, I should play Chevys because they don't.
Like I-25, you know, north of town.
So you buy the Bitcoin through.
I mean, I can't even like you text on the phone. It's just
ETF
it bounces so.
or website.
We had that thing a few weeks ago about
And
that
then
damn death rattle
they
thing.
have all these people that you heard mining,
damper.
right?
All turned out to be
That term
stupid
mining of
steering
it.
damper.
So these people are all having computers and they're running through all these.
Because it was like a mystery or
algorithms
people
and
didn't know what it was. They thought it was
Every
something inherently
transaction
wrong with the product.
allows it to be very
That's all it
safe.
turned out to be.
It's very hard to steal it. You know,
Now,
Both of you are low. She's low. You're a little high.
and they earn Bitcoin.
Is there a way to easily adjust that or not? It's underneath something, isn't it?
I think it's underneath on the processor, but I don't know which button it
The
is.
person who invented it.
Now, that time you talked, it's suppressed, we reviewed it, the other one. And sometimes it makes it, what do you do to make that?
I don't know, that's
There's no
something
value.
that Carl got that
It's like
look
a,
at.
it's like a
I'm talking rates in the low single digits versus rates in the high double digits. Why wouldn't you consolidate that high interest debt by refinancing your mortgage? You'll speak with a salary-based mortgage consultant.
Nothing physical. Nuggets and avalanche.
Let me get your card again.
Stay awake. Yeah.
You know, Mark is saying this is huge news, but I'm not hearing not one thing about it.
We've only went out part of it.
There you go. Yes.
Didn't they release it to Congress or
I saw that
or something? Or
no, the whole memo.
What is
Congress
it?
people read it.
Just my initials.
Oh.
okay.
It says, and it became confirmed that no FISA warrant would have been sought from the FISA court without the sealed dossier working with Blinker.
So I've been in the agency business. I worked at a partner agency here in town for 15 years.
Well, no, it's not.
We did all backwards time labs, and we
Most of
did
it is unsubstantiated.
What do you mean?
all the marketing for Audi in North America for about 5.5 years. And then I
Someone
was
called on the Subaru and said
agency of record for the
she
North
needs to do
Face
an
globally
idle
for
relearn.
8 years in Oakley, and then we did all
It's hot
ski
in
areas.
here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Just over the
Not
course
just
of time,
me
we got
having
specialized in sort of
menopause.
that outdoor lifestyle bit, and then so we had Oakley first, and we had Copper Mountain first.
About you or you about them?
They were just actually across the street, and Rod actually met, this is a funny story, Rod actually met a copywriter of mine who still works at Blinker for me, in the locker room at the athletic club. Pura Vida right there at Cherry Creek.
Yeah, you know what? They're really targeting all of us at Cherry Creek Athletic Club. that same exact, because it's the only clubs there are those two, really.
Yeah, right? Yeah, so
You would think of Cherry Creek.
he met my writer there. My writer loved the idea. He went over, and as he was resigning, he was like, you know, I think you'd like this too. And, you know, I kind of caught on to it. And a few months later, I was over there too. So I came in and really like established the brand and the whole tone and everything that we do.
Your Troubleshooter 303-713-TALK. Now, we got two pending because Jeannie, we got disconnected. She's back, and I have Daniel at the shop. I want to go back to Daniel since that's the latest, and Jeannie, just hang tight. And I know John, we'll get to John with the CB booth, Steve, about buying a new car versus an old home, and that's a really interesting topic. Oops, sorry, Jeannie, hold on. Okay, let's go to Daniel. Okay, Daniel. Daniel, a 2007 Avalon, 200,000 miles.
You had it for 2 years. You take it in for...
Just an oil change.
And what happened?
Well, after that, the car seemed to run okay for 2 or 3 days. About the 4th day, the check engine light started coming on. I called the shop and said, that doesn't happen on my car. And they said, it's just a cold temperature. There was a little tiny bit of a cold snap there. Don't worry about it. Bring it in the next day or two, and we'll check it out.
Did they have better? Do you have better mechanics in Minnesota?
I'm sorry?
Do you have better mechanics in Minnesota?
I'm actually...
I thought you were Minnesota. Come on, don't blow it. You're not?
No,
Canadian.
Canadian? It's very close. Yes, I'm from Texas, but I lived in Canada for 30 years.
Wow, 2 reasons to hate you. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, so Daniel, after you complained about it, you kept driving it. What happened?
Then, they told me to bring it in with the next day or two. They would check it out. On the next day, the engine seized up, and, the bearing and rods were totally shot. The engine was totally destroyed the next day.
Now, what could they have possibly done to contribute to this?
Well, I know exactly what they did.
What? What? Enlighten me.
Well, I took it to a master mechanic.
Yeah, good.
I called around to find out to a master engine rebuilder.
And what did you find out? I'm in suspense, really.
Well, he told me that they put the wrong size oil filter in, and they left out the internal sleeve that's required for the oil filter to work correctly.
Wait a minute.
He said your engine got absolutely zero oil.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Wow. They put in the wrong oil filter. That's bad. But I don't understand this internal sleeve. Is this a diesel?
No, it's not a diesel, but there's a little sleeve with holes in it that flows the oil up through the housing and through the filter.
But that's built into the filter. That's built into the filter.
It's like a finger with holes in it, and that it slides up internally.
I understand. Some of those have on the cradle or on the base where you screw the oil filter on. Some of them have a centerpiece that goes and inserts into the hole on the filter. Yeah, and it does.
It's required for the oil filter to work correctly.
Well, yes, if you don't, but they would have had to listen. They either had to remove it or it wasn't there. So did they remove it? It doesn't come off.
It worked perfectly before.
Well, I understand that it could have worked perfectly, but it could have been a different filter that even though that thing wasn't there, oil is still being pushed up through the bottom of the filter. You have to understand something. That alone would not starve your engine of oil. It's a finger. It's a finger that sticks in the hole of the filter, and it has holes in it. You aptly described it. But that thing is screwed on to the center of the flange where your oil filter goes. It's on the center of the flange. Right. But how did they remove it? When you remove the filter, it does not come out unless it was so old and seized on there, but it doesn't sound like it was. When was the last time you had this 2 years? When was the last time you had the oil changed?
The oil was changed, 5,000 miles ago, 6,000 miles ago.
Okay, well, did you go to what shop did you go to? Because I'd like to find out from that shop if there was the part there.
We could do that. I can't remember. I'd have to check the bills, but I went down to Jiffy Lube. They changed the oil, 3 months ago or 6 months ago.
Okay,
and everything worked fine.
Let me check in on my experts.
Okay.
Kevin Culkin, he has someone who said that finger is missing, and that insertion tube caused his engine to starve.
Like you said, I don't know how.
Filter.
What's that?
Couldn't get any pressure to drive the oil through the core. So zero oil got through the core of the engine. It all sat in the bottom.
Daniel,
and the engine basically just burned up.
So they put in the wrong filter plus that's missing. Here's what I want to know. If they had the right size filter, that finger wouldn't have mattered, I don't think. The finger,
according to the engine rebuilder, it's critical. it's an essential part.
But it's pretty simple, though. If they put the wrong parts on, it's very obvious, and you just go right back to them, and this is the wrong part, they look it up.
If that caused it, for sure. Yeah. You have a master mechanic saying this, so why are you calling me if these guys are dead to rights?
I went back to them, they denied any responsibility.
And what? How could they do that? How did they deny it? When you say straight up, here is the report, what do they say?
Well, their position is you have to bring the car back, let us check it over, we'll tell you. They checked the car over inadequately. They did almost nothing. They didn't take the oil filter off. They shined some flashlights up underneath it looking for oil leaks. They basically looked to the top. At the end of it, they said, well, you know, you've got a noisy engine. We don't know what the problem is. We'd have to take the engine apart to tell you. It's not our responsibility.
Well, no, it's not. It's not their responsibility to tear it apart. It's your responsibility to get proof. And it sounds like you've gone far enough if truly that thing is missing. It was true.
I have some conclusive proof that they, you know, improperly did the oil change. And that's what caused the engine failure.
Well, Daniel, listen.
Yes.
Conclusive proof in front of a judge is a little different than you and me talking right now, okay? You say it was missing. All they have to say is it was never there, because it's definitely, you can see where it's screwed in or welded on, right? That finger where it should be, right?
That's correct.
Now, how did you get that fixed? You didn't, because your engine's down, right?
I mean, they either broke it or forgot to put it in.
Well, they don't forget to put it in because it doesn't come off. It doesn't come off. Do you understand?
Well, they broke it off trying to put the wrong size oil filter
if they broke it off, there will be evidence of that. Is there where it broke? It's like when you work hardened metal, bend it back and forth. There will be edges. Are there edges of the old one?
Well, according to the master engine rebuilder, there's no question that
Daniel, I don't care if he's God. He's not. He's an engine builder. I mean, he wasn't there when well, God would have been there all the time. But I'm talking about, let's take a step below God. Let's just say he's an angel. The thing is, unless he saw it, he can't conclusively say they did it. He can conclusively say it's not there. You do understand the difference, right, Daniel?
Well, sure.
Okay. It's not there. Did it break, or did they unscrew it and remove it, or is it welded on? I want to talk to your master engine rebuilder. Truly, I want to help you, Daniel. But we got a lot more to talk about. So please stick around for that. It's very, very important. Art of Granite, right now, Art of Granite, Monday through Saturday, you can get granite in Golden. Now, it's more than granite. They're a direct importer of all natural stone, granite, and quartz, which is a new kind of popular countertop material. They charge wholesale only for all of their countertop material. They only charge for fabrication and installation. Plus, if you get cabinets, a small markup there. When you visit them, you're on the fast track. You bring some photos and measurements, they'll give you a price. In fact, they'll give you a price on the phone, and then you go there and pick the specifics. And they will stick by their price once you get the products picked, and then they can start installing within a week, and it'll take a week or less. Right, you get custom edges, sinks, countertop material, cabinets, all at their beautiful showroom in Golden. Again, this is very important for you to know. They will give you prices over the phone that are within just hundreds of dollars, a few $100s of what you finally end up with based on what you pick. artofgranite.net. They're also on Facebook. Go to Facebook and look for Art of Granite Golden. You'll love the way they do business. Direct importers of stone. 303-386-5919. 386-5919.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic Center.
Improvements on the drive up in the high country. Crash westbound I-70 at the bottom of Floyd.
But what he's trying to say, and he's not saying it well, when you take the cap off to pull the cartridge out, you have that finger in there.
But the finger doesn't get removed.
No,
it's part of the, you have to break it off.
But what he's saying is because they put the wrong filter in, they removed it to put the filter in, or else it wouldn't have fit. Because it wouldn't fit with the wrong filter. They modified the cap.
Every engine I've ever seen has
which is fine, but leave that alone and just say they put the wrong filter in and that caused my
sometimes that finger, by the way, is the cap.
So that's what I was
part of the
saying. Right away, oil pressure.
Yeah,
right away.
See,
oh, it's part of the cap. Got it.
So you take that off, pull the filter out, put it back on.
Right here.
But if the filter's
wait,
wrong,
I thought they're talking about the different line that comes up from the base.
No, this is part of the cap.
Right.
It's part of the cap. Never mind. Thank you. How do you know that's the Avalon? You looked it up. Thank you for telling me that. I sounded stupid. Okay.
Every engine I've ever seen, including airplane engines, has a bypass. If your filter's plugged up, there's a piston.
That's right. But cars, do they have? They don't have bypass.
No, I don't know about this car having that. But my question is like Dan said, okay, they changed the oil. If it's got no oil pressure, the engine check light would come on immediately, not 3 days later, not 4 days later.
Yeah.
It would just come on immediately.
I just think he's complicating. If it has the wrong oil filter, just go with wrong oil filter caused my problem.
But the big thing
it's easier to prove that than it is this.
And if it's got the wrong oil filter, it's still going to have oil pressure, though.
But it might have had minimal oil.
Tell Daniel I'm going to come right back to him.
You know what I mean? It may have had lower than normal oil.
So the other thing is 200,000 mile engine.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh, yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
bad news.
That's
yeah. Well, he doesn't owe him a new engine. He owes him an engine if he's at fault that has 200,000+ miles on it. But I still don't see how that ruined the engine.
I don't either. Because I agree with you.
I just want an engine
immediately.
Yeah.
On if it was dropped.
Absolutely.
If anything else,
Tell me the lifespan of that bypass.
200.
No, seriously.
Might be around just bypass the filter.
Right.
Mark, without exaggeration, with maintenance, that engine lifetime is what? 200,000.
Oh. Yeah, 200, 250,000 with good maintenance.
Yeah, well, you always assume that.
And that's true too. And if the guy drives it really hard, hey, it might not even go 200,000 miles. The guy runs the hell out of it.
My master engine builder left the oil plugs out of the back of the small block. Put the engine in, it's all pouring right out through all the,
right.
Galley plugs.
Galley plugs, yeah.
But here's the thing, though. I don't see how that prevents oil pressure. I just don't see that.
To rebuild one of those, probably $5-6 grand.
I think a sleeve just, if anything, slows it down.
It seems like to me the sleeve centers the oil filter in the housing.
Yeah.
It just centers it.
But it got holes in it. What are the holes for?
Well,
yeah, the holes are for the oil pump. We'll pump the oil through those holes.
But that wouldn't start the engine. I don't care what.
Exactly. Exactly.
That is impossible to not start the engine.
Exactly. Even if it was left out.
The wrong oil filter, though, could affect oil pressure. It may be not shutting off the pressure, but just lower. When you get a 200,000 mile motor with low oil pressure.
Now try your basement.
Once again, though, of course,
these motors
low oil pressure, the engine check light's going to come on, and on a 2007 Avalon, he's got an actual gauge, not a dummy light on that car. He's got on a 2007, he's got a gauge, he's got an oil pressure gauge.
Good used motor for those is still about $2,800.
$2,800.
Also, yeah.
Plus installation, how much?
Yes. 1,500.
So 28 plus 1,500.
Well, retail is probably 35 and 15. You'd be $5 grand for a used one, or probably about 7 for a rebuild.
Those engines that come out of Japan, they got that weird rule there where they have to change the engine at 50,000 miles or some idiot.
Yeah, what's the name of that company that sells those?
Really? In Japan they got a rule like that?
Yeah, you got to change the motor in the car 50,000 miles.
They encourage you to buy new cars in Japan.
Yes. What do they do with the old cars?
Well, they pull the motors and send them over here.
Yeah.
But they're not exact.
What about the car?
They're not exact replacements. So if you got a 2.2 Toyota, you get a 2-liter Toyota from Japan. So it's all slightly different.
They'll ship them to Cambodia.
We used to do a lot of them. You get them for a couple $100.
That's why the car dealers do very well over there. And they're buying Fords.
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Okay, I want to make short work of this, and not because I don't want to help the guy, but Daniel, here's what I want to tell you quickly. You ready, Daniel?
Yes.
Okay, we looked at it online. My experts looked at it. It's not the kind of finger I was picturing coming from the base or the flange. It is a part of the cap. It's part of the cap. It's very possible that that cap was altered or not. And however, now, you know, I know you say you got this master builder, but here's what we want to tell you. It is unlikely that one part could have affected your oil pressure to that extent. However, the wrong filter could have definitely starved your engine. You really need to hang your hat on that. If it's the wrong part, it's the wrong part. Saying where that other part went is too involved if you want to like go to small claims court or something. But Daniel, I'm going to tell you some of your challenges which you may not want to hear. In fact, no one wants to hear it, but it's the truth. First and foremost, there's what's called comparative negligence. Let's say they were 100% negligent. Did you contribute? Before that engine seized, you would have had to have had an idiot light. You had to. It had to be on. There's no way your engine would be completely starved of oil for 2 days without you getting not only zero pressure on the gauge, but an idiot light, because on that car you have both. Did you get an engine light?
No, I told you, the only light that came on, it was intermittent, was the check oil light.
That's the one.
The engine,
okay,
the check engine light did not come on.
Well, no, the check oil light came on. And why didn't you check it when it came on?
I did.
And what did you find? Oil?
What I found was that the oil was down about a half a quart, maybe 3/4 at the very most. And I called the shop and informed them that. They said that's basically due to the spat of cold weather. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You know, bring it in and we'll check it.
That light did not stay steady on before it seized.
No.
Then hold on. Then that's going to be the shop's defense that it's not their fault that your idiot light did not work. It's not their fault. The next defense they're going to have is the worst one. If they are 100% negligent and your idiot light worked perfectly and you pulled over and it seized, you have a 200,000-mile engine. Now, Daniel, on a perfect planet with perfect maintenance, that engine life, the life of that engine is about 200,000 miles, possibly 250,000, which would make it probably 85% gone. If that's true, you would take the price. Now, if you don't like this, it doesn't matter because a judge is going to tell you this. And I give this example. Daniel, if you're eating an apple and you ate all of it except 2 bites, 2 of them, 2 bites, and I knocked it out of your hand, and it went into the dirt, and it was ruined, I would not have to buy you a new apple. I would just have to buy you or replace a couple bites. The couple bites in your case is going to be minimal. You're going to get, even if they're guilty, they don't owe you an engine. They owe you what they robbed from you, which is about 10 to 15% of that. Do you understand that principle? That's going to be your enemy. 2 things happen.
It's the hardest thing in the world to explain to you.
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense. It's just something that makes sense. That's a good one. That's a good one with a good analogy.
Let me chew on this. I'll give you.
I owe you a couple of bites.
That's really hard.
It's like you can't go to the grocery store and say, hey, I don't want a whole apple. You know, I just want to cut the apple in quarters, and I just want to buy a quarter.
It's just this is Ken Moon for quality first.
God, I hate it when I worked in the automotive.
So
we do work for Walmart.
He's going to have to go to small claims court.
Yep.
And he's going to have to sue, and he's going to have to use his expert.
Yep.
I'd love to talk to his expert, but we're done. And then here's the deal. He's not going to get more. Let's just say the whole job is
$5,000.
$5,000. He's going to get he would get 500 of it. Maybe $500.
But I'd like to know what the oil pressure gauge light said after he changed the oil.
What was going on was that thing was losing, it was sucking air.
Put it in there, Why wouldn't they get that? Because they got to replace it.
Premature, so you don't get 100% of it.
No, of the engine, absolutely.
I know that.
But what about the install?
But just imagine the built enough vent,
They don't do
it's
it that
sucking
way.
air, so the light's coming on, coming off.
Because they figure that would be amortized over a period of time. Expenses are amortized. You're never, even though you have the labor done here, if it lasts this long, that labor is amortized accordingly. And if it becomes premature, then it's amortized again, and you would be giving him better.
They would double.
Every judge is pretty much the same on that?
Well, no judge is the same. In fact, there are judges that forget depreciation because they get pissed off, and they might say, you know what, this court, but it's unheard of, and you would appeal it.
It's
no, however,
people don't show
usually,
almost every
with better
engine we do
and
has a
depreciation,
story that's
I don't know of any judge
I heard
that has
something
ever
that I
said,
was only 5 miles from home.
but listen, Dan,
I was only a mile from the next
I know what
dad,
you're
and I
saying.
was something.
That
You know, I
labor
try to
cost
explain them. It's like that last
is 100% labor, whether the engine is new or old.
I have $9
But
grand
the time span is not, which means by putting a new engine in,
light comes on.
if they paid for all of the labor, they're giving that guy an extended period of time when that labor is sliced up.
This light's on, this is flashing.
Smoke's
Things
coming out
going
now.
on. If you step on the gas,
I wonder if the guy could
it's starting to slow down.
throw the numbers at them and say, okay, say
You know what I've got?
200,000 miles.
Eight of my $9 grand.
No, I don't understand what you're saying. How
Old
they would
Mercedes
amortize
MLs.
it.
Oh, look at the old ML 320s. Was about
I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that point though.
Well,
with
my
the
friend has
labor
40 of those down in
and
Phoenix.
the betterment. I didn't think about that part
He says they go to
with the
300,000
labor.
to
But it is
500,000
sliced.
no servicing.
It is sliced.
It is.
You might be able to trick someone into doing it, but if they analyze it, the reason it's sliced, let's say this happened to him before.
Because
No, let's say it happened to him before.
I want to take care of the cars.
He got it,
Other than
and
running
he had his engine for 4 years, and he should have had it for 8. So in 4 years, he gets 100% of labor again.
Yeah, well.
He's getting 4 extra years of slices for that labor because the time and cost of money. It is amortized. Now, there are times that depreciation does not come into effect. You want to know when?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like the Aveo.
No, they come into effect. Okay, well, replacement costs obviously, but like if someone ran into your home, they have to fix it, but they'll never go over the value. They can total your house, but it's glass is one of them. Just glass.
Depreciation, you mean?
There's no depreciation on glass. Meaning that if you break my picture window, it doesn't matter if the house is 20 years old, unless it was damaged.
And the reason why is because glass, in theory, lasts forever.
It's glass.
Glass.
Gravity,
yeah.
Another one you could also argue. You could argue fluids.
What about
content?
Depreciation on a roof.
Yes, that's definitely taking. Insurance companies do it all the time.
ACH,
You've heard, you know a funny story about glass, Tom?
Unless you buy replacement coverage, you get depreciated.
Over in Europe, the churches over there, 1,000 years old, the glass is now twice as thick as the bottom as the top.
Because glass is a fluid, really.
It eventually runs downhill.
What?
Glass? What?
Yeah.
Come on.
A pane of glass. Glass
A
flows.
pane of glass.
Still, when
Get out of here.
It flows.
Yeah, that's true. That's absolutely true.
After 100 years, the bottom of the
No,
glass
no,
will be
no,
thicker than the
no,
top.
a lot of these were 900,000.
Because it actually flows.
Really?
I don't understand how that could even work.
because once it cools, it's still microscopic.
You're not talking about feet, you're talking about millimeters.
Exactly, you're exactly right.
You know, from the top to the bottom. This started out at 2 millimeters, now it's 3 down here and 1 here.
After so many years?
That is
800 years.
Continuous
No, I
process.
couldn't
Really?
believe it when I saw it because it makes it really hard for them to repair the stained glass windows.
It's a continuous
Because of
process.
that.
It's
Cool.
that glass
The lead
flows.
moves out,
Right.
match
It's
the
not
glass.
crystal.
Yeah.
Even after
Oh,
it's
artwork doesn't have
solid.
Artwork does not have a depreciation.
Wow, that's hard.
I guess, yeah.
And intellectual property in general.
Yeah, I can see that.
Sculptures, things.
These claims on the engines, when I was an adjuster, I hated those because you had to give these people that bad news about the depreciation on them. I just hated
But
them.
why would anyone believe that if you had an engine with 200,000 miles, you're going to get a new one?
Because it was running perfect when I
It's
brought it
running
in.
perfect when I brought it in. That's the
It doesn't
argument I get all the time.
Right.
At some point,
I
that
took good
engine's
care
going
of
to
it.
go.
I took great care of it.
Yeah, I took great care of it. I changed the oil every 50,000 miles.
This doesn't fit into my plans. I planned for 400,000.
Right, yeah. But it is.
Yeah.
Or no, the last car I had just like this lasted that long.
I don't know how they would have broke it off. How do you think they would have broke that thing off?
Because they couldn't fit the wrong filter in. They may have taken it off.
The other problem
You think it unscrews?
yeah,
No.
how do you know when the last
It's part of the housing.
It's part of the housing.
Like Tom said, if they broke that off, you would see a fresh crack.
Yeah.
It would be shiny where
But like
that
Tom
crack
said,
is.
it's just I wouldn't even hang my hat on that. Who cares? The filter was
Yeah.
the wrong one, the wrong filter. Ipso facto, I got a motor. It's easy. Yeah.
It's hard to believe
Wow.
because at the cartridge filters, there's another one that would fit in there.
Sure.
So he has an oil
We
pressure
might
gauge
get
on
it
there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder
That's what they told
if you could have asked him, did it seem
Well, I was
more?
gonna say that. What was the gauge reading?
Builder guy.
Not if it had a gauge. Just say, what was the gauge reading on the dash?
Like I said, that's if you really know your car.
And what Kevin's saying though, is let's say the gauge was reading good, it was sucking air.
I don't mean sucking air so much, but it.
The Troubleshooter.
Help me if you can, I'm feeling down.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your consumer advocate, Troubleshooter Tom Martino. They call me because we make trouble for those who are making trouble for you. Recovering millions of dollars in cash, merchandise exchanges, refunds, and services. Let's go. Let's help. Let's do what we can. Find out more about the show, referralist.com or troubleshooter.com. We have car day today, which means we emphasize cars. We don't, we'll take other calls as well, and I'll get right to you. We're done with that other problem, but I do want to make a note, a programming note. First of all, this hour brought to you by Simply Floors. Simply Floors, Inc. If you're looking for floors, Simply Floors. This is a consumer advocacy show, and one of the things I love is that the content and the commercials are really one and the same. We talk about what to do, when to do it, how to buy, where to buy, and that's why I love doing it, and that's why I love talking about Simply Floors. If you're looking for savings, yes, Simply Floors. It's a smaller company in that they are not these big box stores that call themselves empires or mills or exchanges, but they are a personalized service giving you designer services and a showroom at 52nd and Ward if you're so inclined, or you can simply go to simplyfloorsinc.com and make your own appointment, and they do offer all of the services and all of the products of all the other stores, but at lower prices. You can save up to 40%. Find out for yourself. Floor coverings are a big deal. Simplyfloorsinc.com. So talking about being a consumer advocate for all these years, one of the concepts people have the most difficult with, and I just want to say this, depreciated losses. 303-713-TALK. And I give the apple analogy all the time. People who are regular listeners probably hate to hear it. If you're eating an apple, you only have a couple bites left, and I knock the apple out of your hand, it ruins it, or I throw it down a garbage disposal, you sue me, you're not going to get a new apple. You're going to get an apple. If you get a new apple, you are going to have to pay for the 80 to 95% you ate, and I only have to pay for the stuff I robbed from you, the couple of bites. So you go through all this trouble fighting, but it's not going to help you. I knew a guy one time who, it's terrible, he rigged his engine so it looked like the mechanic ruined it, and he had 200,000 miles on it. And he thought he was a smart aleck, thinking he's going to get a new engine. He was awarded $98 based on depreciation. Okay, so I'm going to go to the phones now. Jeannie, we had before and we were disconnected. She traded in her, she bought a car, 2003 Subaru, and it's about 4 months she's had it. She's replaced the camshaft. They replaced the camshaft sensor. Now she's still having trouble. Bottom line is, it's a used car. She bought it as is, but she is disappointed. So, Jeannie, if they did remove parts or sold that car with removed parts, some of those parts could be critical, which means you could possibly have a null and void sale if it affected safety and minimal equipment as required by law. Not by your opinion, but by law. So we would just have to examine that, and I'd like to go, one of our experts we use for that is SOS Inspections. Norris knows a lot about it, and I like going to him because he can tell what that car is equipped with. And the other thing is, did you get your emissions done during that first 3 days?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not something you can hang your hat on. So, Jeannie, knowing that it's as is, knowing that it's your car, what do you want?
I just wanted to drive without it stalling when I come to a stop.
You know,
that's what I want. Everything
now, Jeannie,
else, I don't have a problem fixing.
Did you take
it to? He
had
told me that he would take care of that, and he hasn't. He hasn't made an attempt. He hasn't done anything.
Okay, so we're going to call him for you. Okay, so hold on. So, Clint, can you call them? She said they promised. If they say they didn't, there's nothing we can do about it, basically. But let's give them a call. And that dealer we're talking about is B Quality. Can you believe that's the name? And his slogan is, if you want A, go somewhere else. That is just the dumbest thing I ever heard. John, what's going on with you, John? Welcome.
Yes, good morning.
Hi, John.
I got a question. I got a 2007 Lexus ES350. And my question is, I had it at the dealership, and they want to charge me, roughly $600 for a CV boot. I'm just curious, is that the going price?
Well, let's talk about that, guys. Not just your shop, but talk about the going rate. Does it sound like too much?
Seems really high. Seems really high. Just really high. You can replace the entire axle for probably about $400 or $500.
Wow. Okay, well, you answered my question.
So I'm thinking the cost of the boot is probably, Kevin, $60, $70, and maybe you got another, what, $200, $250 labor.
Yeah, they're kind of
so maybe about a $300 repair to replace a boot.
I think they're piling on a little bit, yeah.
So there you go, brother. So get that. Hey, listen, it's easy. Referrallist.com. Now, I'm not saying, by the way, you get the cheapest prices, but you will get honesty. They're not going to say this is what it costs if it doesn't cost that. It's that easy. Steve, welcome to the show, Steve. What's going on with you, Steve?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. What's happening?
Hey, I think I was looking to do between a new house and an old house, not a car. I think you mentioned this.
Okay.
So the wife is kind of enamored with these track homes.
Yeah.
They build everything for you.
Yeah.
And they start you at $450. All said and told, it gets about to $550 when you walk out the door.
It can, with extras. Now, track homes, there's nothing wrong with track homes as long as you understand it is what a track home is. Forget the brand name. The brand name, the only thing the brand name is good for is if you have warranty issues, they'll stand behind it if they're good. But who builds your house? What's really funny is you can have one builder and you say, I love this builder. And then you say, I love this builder, and you look for that builder. But that builder could have 4 houses, and each one of those houses built by completely different crews that have no bearing on each other. So just having that in mind, you have a conglomeration of subcontractors assembled by this track builder who simply is cookie cutter cutting these houses. Doesn't mean it's bad. In fact, in some ways, production homes can have better value, not value, better quality because they're doing things at the same time. And they actually have a better learning curve in some cases. And they know what works and what doesn't work. And some of the nicest looking homes in the entire world are track homes because think about this. If you're building 1,000 homes of a certain model, you can pay out the nose and out the yin-yang or any other orifice and still have a quality. You can pay the best architects in the world. You know, some of the most beautiful homes I've ever seen were celebrity homes. And they are, I'm talking about design-wise. I can't believe the quality. Now, they're not custom. I think they're track kind of semi-custom. So, Steve, that part doesn't bother me, that part. So go on with your discussion.
So, and if we get that home, it's going to have everything. The wife is going to have the new appliances and all that.
Versus an old home.
Correct, yeah. So I was thinking on the flip side, we find like a 350, 400. If we get that, and the ones we look at, they start with like 1970s, all appliances, nothing's been renovated. If we got one of those, would we kind of be back at the end, like with renovations and all, getting up to what we want?
Money is money is money is money. And what I mean by that is there's no cheating. I, for example, used to think I'm going to beat the system when it comes to tools. So I would go and buy a certain tool and then end up breaking it. And by the time I was done buying these cheap tools, I could have bought the most expensive one and been done with it. And it would have been warranted and guaranteed. And I ended up right where I should have been to begin with. And the same thing when people try to do cheap auto repairs or do-it-yourself stuff. Every day, these guys, Budget A1 Auto Repair, A1 Budget Transmission Auto Repair, and Sheridan Auto Tech, they have people come in who went the cheap route and now end up not only where they should have been, but probably more. The same thing with houses. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. There are 3 ways to go with a house. Buy an existing new home, build a home, or renovate a home. Renovating an old home will make you old. The house will be new, you'll be old. Because it's a terrible thing. And it really is. Unless you have a stomach for it, don't do it. And especially the older it is and the more renovating. But here's another thing. No matter how good you are at renovating, an old home will always be old in its core. The angles, the walls, the foundation, it's going to be old. Some people like that character, but you're going to have certain characteristics that will never change. And houses are like fashion. You must have seen low-rider brick ranches, and you think to yourself, that's an old home, with the shutters, and you can just tell it's an old home. Even if it's completely renovated, like they're dressing them up in Cherry Hills trying to sell them for, you know, $1.5 million because they're putting a lipstick on a pig, but it's still an old house. The deal is this: buy classic designs. Don't buy fads like the big slanted roofs, the A-frames, all of these different fads. Buy something classic. And then when you buy, I'll give you an example. Victorianist classic never, ever, ever, ever goes out of style. Neither does Cape Cod, neither does Tuscan, neither does, those never go out of style. These modern-looking monstrosities, you know, Frank Lloyd Wrong and all of these others, they're terrible. Or you get these little ranches. They try and try and try to fix them up. They're still what you got. I recommend, if you're going to buy an older home to fix it up, make it a classic older home. You know, something with a country classic Victorian, Tuscan, or a Tudor feel. A Tudor, you know, that kind of feel. They don't get old. In fact, people make new houses to look like them. That's the kind of older home you want. But I think you're better off buying a new home, in my own opinion. I would rather buy a new home if I had my druthers. If I find a slightly used home, that's good too.
Well, like on those new homes too, they're looking at like a 6 to 7 month time frame.
That's right.
If the market were to fall out during that, is there any way to get out of that? Or
it depends on your contract. Some of them are. Some of them you're not even obligated till the final, you know, stages. It's really, Steve, how you write this. And even if you're buying a new home, did you know you can use a real estate person? And I highly recommend it. So if you call FrankDuranTheRealEstateMan.com, for example, you say, I want to buy a new home. He'll help you, and he can even help you if you already know the house, but you haven't gone to see them. It's unfair if you go to see them and work their salespeople and then say, oh, by the way, I have a real estate guy. They won't do that. You have to have a real estate guy and mention it straight up front. So if you mention you got a realtor, he sent me in, or they go, then you could even work like if you have a home in mind, and Frank doesn't have to do any work. He gets a co-op commission. He may rebate some of that or negotiate that with you. He might say, you know what, Steve, since you know this, I'll just do the transaction for you and I'll charge you this much. You can do stuff like that. Now, of course, if he's going to shop around for you and compare and do all that, it's worth it for the commission. And there is negotiating even with a new home. So, by the way, for those listening, FrankDuranTheRealEstateMan.com, 303-920-1622. You'll never do better than Frank. So, Steve, any specific questions?
Well, that was it. I mean, just if we did do the renovation, I mean, I can't do construction to save my life, but if we were to get an old home, I mean, how much would we could potentially drop and renovate? Like, kitchen would be the main thing.
Okay, if you get an older home of those classic designs, designs, here's what you need to look for. Always kitchens and baths. Always. Kitchens and baths. Those are the two most important things, okay? And if you have more than one bath, don't just do one bath, do them all. So kitchen and baths, number one. The number 2 area is a master suite. People love to walk into a master suite and visualize themselves in it. You know, I love these houses with little offices and cubbies and little sitting areas and living rooms and a formal living room and a dining area. But you know what? People live in the kitchen and the bedroom and maybe a family room. It's amazing how many times we walk through these houses, you see this cute little sitting area with a couple of Victorian chairs and a table, and you think, oh, I can picture myself sitting there reading a book, and you never ever go there the rest of your life. It's only in your imagination. So when you're renovating, you take that into consideration because it's yours. But you have you always have to renovate and build for others as well when it comes to the classic designs and classic colors. Do not get tricked into fads. And that goes with appliances, either off-white, white, or stainless. Timeless. These black, avocado, yuck, all these different appliances. Keep in mind classic. It's the same with fashion. Classic. Okay? If you have any specifics, you can hang on. If not, I go on to other callers. I'm Tom Martino, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Plumline Services, they have a furnace check as well. Plumline Services, of course, have done a lot of work for me, and I've known Jeff and his gang for so many years. Plumline Services. Let me pull up their thing here. They just emailed me and says, Tom, we are slow. And by the way, when they're slow, you get great deals. They're going to do this. They're going to do a furnace AC combination. If you buy the air conditioning system, it doesn't have to be top end, and then you get the matching furnace free. And here's the other thing. This is going to be a little fun. If you say serendipity, Martino said serendipity, you get an extra $200 off just for grins. Now, this free furnace with the AC is a good deal. If you say serendipity, another $129. They also have a running furnace tune-up special for $29 with a no breakdown guarantee. PlumlineServices.com, 303-586-1086. A great company on my referral list, 303-586-1086.
Well, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Insurance companies don't do that with homes. You know, hey, you got a 100-year-old house. It's at the end of its life. Okay. Yeah, but it's not. That's why. Well, no, I think it's right.
Well, got the three most important words in real estate: location, location, location. I mean,
no, you're right.
To buy a new house versus an old house. It's where do you want to live? What kind of schools you want to be?
Why don't you chime in?
Yeah. Or Mark wouldn't let me in. I tried to go over here.
That's the hard part of some of the older houses.
It's
like garage. I mean, there's nothing. Yeah. I swear they didn't cook.
Should we order something for these boys? I'm ready to buy.
You can't expand it based on our weight.
So do you know what to normally get?
Donuts.
Yeah. Guys, do we want Jimmy John's or pizza?
Cut down on that. Jimmy John's sounds good.
You like that better?
Yeah.
Jimmy John's itself.
Yeah. You love the unwich?
I love that.
I love it too.
Yeah,
which one?
Jimmy John's.
That's the only thing we can order.
The unwich?
Okay, I want the unwich.
It's just like wrapped in lettuce.
Oh, that's the one that Tom likes. Yeah, I like it too. I like it too.
Do you want the same four?
Yeah, let's do the same.
5 unwiches. Italian nightclubs.
Right, it's number 9.
Cool. So, Tom, my mom's house was built in 1903.
Clint, what would you
Want
like
a sandwich from
Jimmy John's?
We're getting sandwiches.
Oh, really?
You know that Italian nightclub you like, the unwich? You like that wrap?
Yeah, that looked really good.
And if they have chips, I wouldn't mind having a bag of chips with it. So, Tom, my mom's house built in 1903. I restored it from the top all the way down to the bottom.
You don't have your card with you, do you?
Well, we have the number.
I don't have
the card.
1903, so you had to do plumbing, like everything.
Everything. It's amazing. Came out great. Had all new doors built. Walnut door in the front of the house, back of the house. All the doors, 6 all doors throughout the whole house. Electrical. Did you read from the top all the way down to the bottom? New box. I mean, literally everything. All new windows, new rooms, everything. But here's the thing.
I thought they said that the guy didn't.
And I've been really thinking about this.
That all the Democrats were saying, right?
Traveling back and forth for all the people I work with. But it's not vinyl sided.
So just like a number 9 with bread? You want bread? You like bread, though?
Sure.
Okay. He's a bread man.
Did you see this lady try to...
It's got the vinyl siding on it. But prior to the vinyl siding, to be honest, you used to have the cedar shingle siding.
Yeah.
So I'm
What's happened there?
you know that vinyl siding?
I don't like
through the air.
I don't like it either. Let's go with all
Gotta
these
have
cedar.
rules, all these laws.
The,
So you got stupid people like
it
that.
gets beat up and it gets morphy looking.
Yeah, and it discolors.
It discolors, you can't paint it.
Well, so my mom's house, built in 1903, did it from top to bottom. I mean, you got to see it. Custom walnut doors in the front, back, all the doors in the house. Had a bathroom put on the main level because there was only one bathroom upstairs, and my mom has a hard time walking up the stairs. I put the washer and dryer in the kitchen. Oh, wow. Oh yeah, because there's a washer and dryer down the basement. But I don't want my mom going down the basement no more, you know? So you got to see it. Granite tops, new. Oh my
You could
God.
put some cash in that baby.
140 grand.
Yeah, that's a lot for 140 grand.
140 grand, but I got great deals on everything. I had to get permits because the neighbors ratted me out. Oh, it was, I got in arguments with neighbors, and, you know, 2 weeks later, all of a sudden there's a notice, stop.
That's back east?
Yep.
I got to
Stop
tell you
all
a
the
trick.
work. So here's my question, Tom.
Trick I learned on permits.
The house originally had cedar shingles on it, 100 years old.
The roof?
For the siding or the roof?
Siding.
Siding, okay? Oh, I had a new roof on it too, all new roof, top of the line roof. So I'm thinking to myself, man, I love the classic design.
That's okay. Thank you.
I love the classic design, and I wanted to keep the character, and I told all these guys doing all the work.
By the way, did you say siding or roof?
Siding.
Siding. So I told all the guys doing all the work, I want to keep the character of the house internally, 1903. I want to keep that character,
Yeah.
you know? But I want everything new.
Right.
And which we did. Right. But now, here's the only other thing, and it's kind of been waking me up in the middle of the night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, because it's got vinyl siding on it. And I remember when I was little,
Like cedar?
it had cedar. Yeah.
Go back to cedar shiplap.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Get all that
Except it's
vinyl
high
crap off of
maintenance.
it.
It's high maintenance.
You got to spoil it
Right.
or something, yeah.
Back east.
What about the insurance? Will insurance going to cover a lot of that stuff? I mean,
Why would it?
well, cedar, a lot of insurance won't cover cedar roofs.
No, it's got a shingle roof.
No, I know.
No, they don't care.
Cedar side, they don't. Okay.
It was just siding.
Yeah, remind me. I want
Give
to
it that old classic look from the outside.
Tom Martino. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. The Raleigh House is a premier addiction treatment home. They have a few locations in Denver Metro. It's something that we talked about yesterday. We had them on the show as a guest, and I got a ton of email. And they want to know more about this hotline. So I'm just going to, it's not a crisis line. It's an information line. I am convinced that people don't know where to go and what to do when they find an addiction. They look in their kid's backpack and they see a whole bottle of Vicodin. Or they look in their husband's briefcase, or something happens and they see meth, amphetamines, or cocaine. You don't know what to do. Call this number. This number is for anyone who has any question about any concerns about addiction, anything. Alcohol, prescription drugs, illegal drugs, abused or mistreated or overused. If you don't even know if it's an addiction, call. They'll tell you what to look out for and how to approach someone. Any question you have. What does it cost? Does insurance cover it? How long does it take? Are there treatments available at home? What do you do at the Raleigh House, and what do other people do? The Raleigh House will never use this as a sales tool. They'll never, ever use it as high pressure. It's confidential, and there's no obligation at all. So here's the number. I urge you to call. If you have an addict in your life, call. And the reason is it will never go away without some kind of help or intervention. It just won't. And you're going to end up with somebody dead. 720-893-5559. 720-893-5559. It's the Raleigh House. It's spelled like the city, but it's in Denver, okay? TheRaleighHouse.com. Oh, does Steve have another question for us on the house thing? Okay, let's finish up with Steve on buying a house. Today is car day and other things as well. Steve wanted to talk about buying a new home or a used one and fixing it up. Go ahead, Steve.
Okay, yeah, just to follow up, so on those three things you mentioned, the kitchen and the master, what would you, if you had a crystal ball, what would be like a ballpark figure to get those, I guess?
It depends on the size of the house and the level of trim. I mean, you can spend, okay, I'll give you an idea. many, and this is, I want to preface everything. I'm a different person, but many years ago, I did a master bedroom, and the bath cost $125,000. And of course, I was crazy, stupid, but it cost $125,000, and it wasn't a lot of necessarily markup. It was just crazy, stupid, expensive. But I have seen bathrooms more beautiful for $50,000. Now, you do a lot, Mark Machowski. You do a lot of work for your mom and stuff. What would you say bathroom remodel in your experience?
Well, my bathroom remodel, you know, I added a bathroom. I added a bathroom to my mom's house. So altogether, and it's beautiful, I would say about $16,000.
Okay, and that's definitely a smaller. Lower price range house. Now I say that only because
smaller bathroom.
Literally $16,000 is what fixtures could cost.
But we added a bathroom too. We added a bathroom.
Well, you did a very good job.
Yeah, I don't want my mom walking up and down the stairs.
Clint, you have done so much by way of fixing up. What do you say?
Buy and build in some of these places where you can buy all your fixturing ahead of time. Do that before you make plans and plan to use those pieces in your bathroom.
How much are you looking?
We did a pretty big one for 14.
Okay, but you did a lot of the work.
Yeah.
Okay. See, did you do a lot of the work, Mark?
Yes.
Okay. So, Steve, I would say no less than if you're not doing the work, no less than $20,000 for a full bath. $20,000 for a half bath. $10,000.
Okay.
I know that sounds expensive to people, but I'm talking about hiring people, and you don't do anything. And then if you're talking about a kitchen, oh my God, kitchens no less, no matter what house it is, no less than 20 for sure, no less. And I would say more like 30 for a base kitchen, 30 if you're doing the whole kitchen, and then up from there.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good luck to you, Steve. 303-713-8255. Okay. Bruce, what's going on in your life? Bruce!
Oh, I thought I'd call and give a shout-out for 24/7 on furnace work they done at my house a couple of weeks ago after listening to your show.
Oh, really? What did they do for you?
Well, I have side-by-side furnaces in my house, and my house was built in 2005.
Why do you have side-by-side?
Because I've got 5,000 square foot of house, and I didn't feel that the one furnace that was in it would take care of it.
All right, so what happened?
So they came out after I've had several other companies over the years come out to fix the problem and stuff, and Dave showed up and was doing a cleaning on my furnace and stuff, and we found the problem within 20 minutes of him just doing a general inspection.
Right. And their general inspection and clean is, I mean, top to bottom and disassembling to the point they can. I'm interested in something. We run this $39 special with 24-hour fix-it for that. $39 to clean it and do all that. Since you had side-by-side furnaces, and I wouldn't mind if they did they charge two $39 fees?
No, as a matter of fact, what Dave had done for me, we had used, I asked him if the one that was down on a board system, I said, will this other one run and sufficiently heat my house until we get the next one going? And he said, yeah, and we found a problem with the motor on the one we was working on.
Did they fix it?
Yeah, they fixed everything just right then and there and stuff, and we was talking while we was doing this, and I had told him how many companies I've had out. It seemed like every holiday for the last 4 years, one of them went down. And he found the problem right away, and we was talking, and he says, yeah, I had just worked on Tom Martino's house.
Yep.
And it was kind of funny because
who was it that did that?
David.
Yep, they're great. Yeah, you know, I just can't believe the level of service, and I do appreciate the call. 303-713-TALK. Bob, what do you want to say about a roofing contractor? What's going on? Are you there, Bob?
Yay.
Okay, what roofing contractor are we talking about?
Roofcraft in Colorado Springs.
Roofcraft. What did they do wrong?
Well, I received a lien on my house.
And did you pay them?
Well, I
paid them half up front.
Yes.
And which was about around $3,000.
Okay, but is there money due?
Well, they didn't pay for the material.
All right, you hold on. I can help you for sure, okay? I can help you for sure. It's very important. Rocky's Autos, 63rd and Federal, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 6. Today is car day. If you're looking for a used car, truck, SUV, or van, Rocky's. They have a big selection and a changing selection because they buy often. Here's an interesting note. They own every car outright, which means you get the title immediately. There's no jiving there. They also, of course, have all emission-ready cars with the coupon, and they give you a Carfax with every car, and they have a variety of colors, makes, models, price ranges, and variety in financing. 40 lenders to choose from. 63rd and Federal. RockiesAutos.com. 303-426-4646.
We're going to make this a super weekend with our iHeartRadio All Access Free Preview Weekend. What's that mean? You get to listen to millions of songs, albums, and playlists, all free on iHeartRadio. Open the app and let the music play. No credit card or obligation. Just enjoy all your favorite music for free this weekend. It's a super weekend with the iHeartRadio All Access Free Preview Weekend. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
Being accused of a crime can ruin your life. Get help with highly respected, skilled trial attorney Joe Lazzara. He's offering a free initial consultation and up to $500 off his services.
Wow. I didn't want to say that online.
Wow.
Actually, a guy I know from the building department was the one that told me that.
Wow.
What was his name?
No matter
I want to.
navigating the world.
I've done that every time, and it works.
Wow. Too late now.
Well, in the future, you know.
At JC Dodge Construction, we'll manage the
$14 grand for adding a bath in there. We did a lot of work here.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Dodge has free construction consultants. Or we do super cheap.
Before we do anything, we go like windows. We go to buy windows for 20 cents on the dollar. It didn't fit somebody else's job.
Construction can execute
Home Pros or Home Depot. They get them in. They weren't measured right. So you get them for 20% of what they sold for. But before you find one closed, you frame for that window. You buy your windows, your fixtures, everything before you start, and you get them for just nothing. And then we even have a toilet that fits in the corner. I've never seen a corner toilet. A corner toilet, yeah, in the cabin.
That's weird.
It's really cool.
You didn't just do a caddy corner; it actually
fits in the corner. Yeah, it's got a triangle shape.
I like that.
I've never heard of that.
I like it.
I'll bring up Airbnb and show you the cabin. It's really beautiful. But it was there was nothing in the cabin that wasn't reused. Even the logs in the property were made into furniture. You know, log beds and everything. The whole place was built from a house that was tore down in 1964. It was 200 years old when they tore it down. So then we went in and it's like, got 90% pallet floors made from old pallets. The cabinets I got from Buy and Build for 20 cents on the dollar.
Today is the
day
you break the stranglehold.
What kind of pallets?
Like old pallets?
Yeah, old pallets. They have to be built. Oh, no, you don't even need oak, because by the time by the time they're so old, they're hard. The term I was given was hard as old or as hard. Even the regular nails. You can buy the boards already cut off, because those nails you can't pull the nails. They won't fall. Some are fine, but it's hardened so much that you can't. By that age, they're as hard as over. You run them through a planer and a cable saw. They have all.
You can't run them through a planer with the nails.
No. I buy them with the nails sawed off. They saw the nails apart. Right. Parts. They saw through the nails. So little top parts just punch out. They're ring-shaped nails. You can't roll them. Yeah, you'll bust the pallet all up on the nails. So they saw them in a machine, and then I buy the pallet parts for 25 cents a piece. And you got to run through. You got to prep them. The floor is just gorgeous.
We had a guy calling in about his algae in the toilet because bleach didn't work. Vinegar worked on him though.
I'm going to show you that my toilet.
I got the guy was getting his tank was perfectly clean, but he was getting Every time we need to flush it, they plug up every 5 days with algae. So we got algae, around
Seriously.
the thing. And so we had the big.
See, the tank and the bowl have almost the same water level.
Yeah, I know, but you could put dye, if you really think it's leaking, put dye in the bowl.
I know what's happening right before the flapper valve comes down. It's doing one little splash. It's going.
Yeah, but that's not causing the algae.
No, not in that other way. In that one it could.
Water level.
If it's dirty water in there,
tank back, I mean, the bowl
just
back
sitting
up
in that tank. Come on.
And then you get algae.
I mean, he said bleach didn't work though. Vinegar, but when you tried vinegar, it worked.
Yeah. And then see my finger.
Wait a minute.
They have a hole just above the water level in the back.
No, I'm kidding you.
Oh,
Try to get it right.
But
That's the algae. Black algae in the bowl. In the
that's what it smell like.
My wife paid $1,100 to damn European toilet. Doesn't crap.
Do you know that toilet? Do you know what that would have been at buy and bill? If he has those toilets in stock, $300.
What's that?
Top. Buy and bill.
Oh, I know. My wife paid $1,100 for a damn European toilet. And it stinks. It has algae in it.
I'll give you another vinegar secret, Tom, after this.
Oh, man.
Stem cell therapy should not be taken lightly. Go to an MD clinic with MDs, with doctors. Also insist on guided injections, which means imagery. Also insist on living stem cells, which means they must be harvested on site from you and then redelivered. And none of that is done at a chiropractor's office who doesn't use an MD, who doesn't harvest. If they ship in fluid, it is not living stem cells, ever. So if you go to stem cell therapy and they have some fluid sitting there, it's not living stem cells. It's that simple. Centennial Schultz has been doing stem cells from the beginning. They have 14,000 patients in their data bank that they've helped with shoulders, knees, backs, hands. Most ACL tears they can help. They can fix instead of surgery. 303-963-9201. 303-963-9201. Centennial Schultz. They're also known as Regenix. On my referral list at referralist.com. So, a problem with a roofing contractor. He has a lien on his house. Do you have a lien on your house?
Yes, I do.
Okay. There are so many clowns in the roofing business. Again, that's why I tell people referralist.com will protect you. Now, let's talk about this. You put down $3,000. Did they finish the job? That's the first question.
Yes.
Okay. And then why didn't you pay the balance?
They never, they haven't given me a bill for the
When
balance.
did they finish?
Between Christmas and around the 15th of December.
Okay, so you have $3,000 that you paid them. How much did your insurance pay you?
$6,500.
Okay, how much is your deductible?
$1,000.
Okay, so they're expecting the roof to cost $7,500. How much was this guy's bid?
Well, for the roof was $7,000.
And how? Okay, and then what about? Go ahead.
Well, there were some other things that he was willing. He had people to paint the soffit.
All right. Is all of the work done?
Yeah.
Okay, so $7,000 for the roof, and was he going to charge $500 for the miscellaneous?
Yes. Plus, well, it was about $1,600 because I had new downspouts and gutters put on also.
Did the insurance pay for that?
No.
Okay, so
that was a separate deal.
Technically, from your math, you would have owed him at the end. You would have owed him $8,600 minus the $3,000. So you would have owed him $5,600 at the end. Okay, now that would include your $1,000 deductible, and this $5,600 that is owed, you need to call the roof supply house, and if they put a lien on your house, you need to pay it with this money and keep track of it, and you're done. How much is it?
$3,001 and some stuff.
Good.
And I have called them.
Good. You need to pay it because they need to be paid. Now, technically, under the laws of the state of Colorado, there is what's called a lien protection bill or statute. And what it says, you got to have these conditions: a written contract, your primary residence, proof of payment in full to the primary contractor, and then you're immune from any liens being perfected.
Okay.
So
the only thing I don't have is a final total bill.
It doesn't matter. Do you have a contract?
I have a contract, but it doesn't have the exact price.
Then it's not. Then it's not bound. You're not going to have any help. You need to pay off the supplier. You were planning on doing that, right?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
And then after you pay off the supplier, if you want to do everything correctly, you should pay off the supplier and then send the other $2,600 to the roofing company.
Okay.
I mean, that's if you want to do it properly. Now, these guys are stupid and didn't even bother collecting. What are they doing?
I don't know. And when I called the supplier, I thought, you know, they said that I'm not the only one.
Now, you have to be sure you get a lien release and they take that lien off or you're not paying it.
Right, absolutely.
All right. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Now, Dell has a very quick question. What kind of oil for the Windstar? A 1998. Wouldn't that just be good old-fashioned?
Just any good 1030 is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10W30. Dell?
Yes. I inherited this 1998 Ford Windstar. It has 55,000 original miles.
What? Nice. Does it look as good? Does it look like? Does it look new?
Quality.
Oh, wow.
Parked in a garage. It was my mom's. It probably drove maybe 10 miles a week to and from a grocery store.
All right. So any good old-fashioned oil.
Okay, that's what I had put in it. But can I change to a synthetic blend or a synthetic?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You can change back and forth. It's a wife scale that you can't.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only time I've heard when you do that with a really old engine that's been used to the buildup, it's going to clean it out so much you're going to lose compression. Not true?
No.
No? Have you?
Okay.
So if I have an old car with 200,000 miles on it.
Well, if you have an old car, excuse me, with 200,000 miles on it, you've been using a lot of oil that has a paraffin base.
Yeah.
Yes, that is going to cause a problem. But on a 98 Windstar, it's not.
Okay. All right.
know? Yeah.
So what uses paraffin oil? Like a 50,
well, I don't even
60?
think they really make it anymore.
Not anymore, yeah.
All right, so that, okay.
The older straight 30 weights and stuff, yeah.
So I have an email question for Blinker.com, by the way, that app for selling vehicles. It's a great app. What do you do about signatures needed, they say? If you say everything can be done on the app, they want to know what you do about signatures.
Yeah, you do it right in the app.
Okay.
Digital bill of sale right through the app itself.
And that is legal.
And that is legal.
Okay.
Yep, legally binding, and it stays on your phone.
And the forms needed, you guys supply everything?
Absolutely everything.
All they have to do is sign where they have to sign.
All they have to do is sign where they need to sign, and we provide everything from if you're financing the vehicle or you're paying off a lien that you have. That's all done through the app.
So
everything's in there.
So you don't have to worry about any of that. The emailer, we have a couple more questions coming up. Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans. Let's talk about credit card debt. Now, I don't like the idea of taking credit card debt when you bought a washing machine and a dryer or went on vacation. I don't like financing that for 30 years in your house. But there is a way to take the equity in your home, and now that rates are low, to pay off credit card debt. And it's a good idea if you do it the ideal way with Ideal Home Loans. Brent.
Well, that's right. We would never advocate taking your credit card debt, putting it in your mortgage, and stretching it out for 30 years. But here's what we see again and again. We are oftentimes saving people well over $1,000 each and every month. So we'll show you how to take half of that savings, apply it back towards your new loan that includes your credit card debt, and show you how to not only pay your credit card debt off more quickly, but pay your house off more quickly, which translates into a lower effective interest rate on not only your mortgage and on your credit card debt, but get you paid off more quickly. So here's what this ultimately results in. You're going to be putting money in your savings account each and every month so you don't have to rely on credit card debts the next time an emergency arises. You're going to pay your house off more quickly and save 6 figures in payments and interest, and also get out of credit card debt at the same time. It is a way to win on all three fronts, but you've got to sit down with the right person to show you how to do it so that you can get ahead in what we oftentimes see. Your effective interest rate on all this money is south of 2.5% or even 2% in some instances, so you are getting ahead by leaps and bounds.
Ideal Home Loans for your next ideal home loan, even consolidating debt. 303-867-7000.
It doesn't sound like the phone because it's not. He is on a what's called a no major problems on the highway drive. It's a digital line that is like being in person. It's broadband. He's on
Sounds like you're standing inside.
That's how I do my show on remote. So you think on this?
All these forms are still free.
That's what
Oh
I
yeah.
was thinking.
How the hell do you? Okay. How do you pay for it? I mean,
They make money on the financing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
They hope
It's all in financing.
If they don't finance, everything's free.
Everything's free.
well, you know what's great about that is because a lot of things I sell, sometimes you get to a certain point where private party sales have to be financed because you know you can't arrange financing yourself. It kind of starts to kill some of the
Right. Yeah, our average car that passes through the system is about 11.5.
How about a motorhome?
Can't do it yet.
Oh man.
Just cars and trucks for now.
Too
No motorcycles or boats or motorhomes yet.
Well, still got some cars.
I've known the owner of
I'm gonna get hold of my uncle
for more than 30
took over our
years, and I
dealership.
can tell you he's dedicated
And
to the very
he
best
was the one bringing the
service,
trucks up here.
very best
Can a dealer list the dealers can list their
Right now we can't. The way we've got it built, it's through the ownership. So it has to be registered dealership. So that way we can.
Well, you're just not helping me at all.
I know.
No, I got about 3 of them.
Yeah, it's all private party because that's where everyone needs the help right now anyway.
Yeah. Like a guy trying to buy him flip cars or something like that, he can't.
Yeah, if he had it registered, he could, but outside of that, yeah.
You only run so many years before the state gets on you.
and it's just $39. They'll treat your home as their own. You won't find
We
better.
figured out over the years how not to make money in the dealership. So,
Yeah.
What's that? Just fix it and stuff for $39 and stuff. And there's a they'll clean out your whole.
That's a hell of a deal.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. a hell of a deal.
You know, he told me, I called him about a thermostat that worked on Wi-Fi. We were going to buy this $250 thermostat. And he just said, he gave me the part number to go to Amazon and buy the same one. It's a Honeywell for $55.
Oh, the thermostat's so easy to put in.
Well, no. It needs 5 wires and I only have 2.
Ooh.
So we got a new run new wire in.
For what? What is that?
The thermostat for Wi-Fi
Yeah,
needs
you
5
know they have
wires.
converters that do that. You don't have
Oh,
to
they
run
do?
the
They
wire.
have 2-wire converters? Wow.
It sends the signal over 2 wires and splits it into 5 each end.
Holy, I didn't know that.
Well, ours is easy to do right now because we're redoing the kitchen anyway, so I can get the
I
wire.
can't believe they do it, but they do it somehow.
Split the stuff. Wow, that's
Trying to
good to
think of how
know.
that would work. Yeah.
These Wi-Fi thermostats, especially like on Airbnb, you know, people leave.
I had a motorhome one time that the entire bus was wired with, I say a pair of wires, a little more because of other stuff, but virtually a pair of wires. Because what it did is it went from the computer and it went through every single switch, okay? Then you had to have power to it, right? So the power was separate, right? But one wire went through every single switch. Every switch. One pair. So each switch had each switch had an IP address. So the bedroom light had an IP address. So when you turned on that light, it sent a signal power to that fixture, which means you can make any switch operate anything
without smart house fixtures.
Does anybody want to
Right.
play?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I could go with one. Well, maybe not. Make it easy for you.
I brought these up just in case.
Thank you, Daphne.
So Tom was talking about Tom Brady, how amazing he is. I saw a little film about Tom Brady when he was first drafted. He had his shirt off, and they were just taking pictures of the front of his body with no shirt and the back, just, you know, just to see what kind of shape this guy. I mean,
Skinny deal?
yeah, he wasn't. I mean, I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, really? This dude?
Pretty average.
He's an absolute health nut.
Oh,
He's a
yeah.
health nut.
messy.
You won't find him doing drugs or alcohol.
Oh, man. He never eats tomatoes.
He has shakes every morning. He has shakes every morning. And
have you seen pictures of him in high school? He's like a big chunky guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, he like, it's pretty funny. He like posted a picture, I don't remember what.
How much time do I have? I just couldn't believe it. I mean, he had some, extra handles here on the side, and I mean, his stomach, chest was
Guys,
down.
right? Guys, don't talk with your mouth to him at all.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get right to the phones. John's got a question on Blinker. Go ahead, John.
Well, Tom, as always, thank you for your show and all the work your team does.
Yes, sir.
I truly appreciate it.
Thank you.
I have a question on Blinker, and it's just when you enter your bank account information after the transaction has gone through, is the information then deleted? Do they keep it for years and years? How does that work?
Yeah, you bet. I can answer that. We do not keep the information. We basically run it through the transaction and then pretty much discard it afterwards. And there's two ways we can do that. One is through we have a software partner called Plaid, and that really links the two bank accounts together. And then they help with the wireless transaction of funds, and then then basically the deal is done.
Okay. And my last question, and I know on your website you put you don't collect a dime for the fee, but how do you make money?
Yeah.
Do you sell my info to other companies?
No.
Good question.
It's a great question. We get that one all the time. We are the financer. We're the lender in the transaction, and so if it's a cash transaction, we don't make any money. But the next time someone buys a car, as you kind of escalate through your vehicles over time, we know that someone will come back from with the financing. Also, if you're selling your car, we don't know who's going to buy that. So ultimately, we're going for someone who's going to finance it and have a platform that really lets them do it.
Or they know about it and say, oh, this is so cool, it didn't cost us anything, and then they pass on the word. Daryl, what's going on with you, sir?
Tom, I just want to let you know, when you gave the advice on picking a house, you were just spot on.
Well, thank you.
The only thing I would add on that,
in
this part of the country, because people are moving from other parts, I wouldn't buy a house that does not have a basement. They're hard to sell. People in this part of the country want those basements. Maybe you don't want the basement, but when you buy a house, you also got to figure you're going to sell it someday, and it won't sell in this part. They're a drag on the market if they don't have a basement.
Oh, that's a good point. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Okay, Ruth, what's going on with you, Ruth?
Hi, Tom.
What's happening?
Well, I know it's your car day, but...
No, we talk about everything. Cars are an emphasis, but we talk about anything today. So what's going on with you?
Well, you know what? I'm 59 years old, and I was born in Chihuahua, Mexico.
Yeah.
My parents were only there for a very short time. They were religious, and I grew up in Maine, but I never got a birth certificate.
What did the religious have to do with the Chihuahua and the baby?
They were down there preaching the word.
Oh, okay, that's why they were there. And so you never got a birth certificate?
No, and they never registered me. I don't know.
Do you exist in the United States? Do you have a social?
Yes, I have a Social Security
Do you pay
number.
taxes?
I've worked. I've paid taxes. My husband was a federal correctional officer.
All right, hold on, and we'll troubleshoot this, okay? Hold on. We will take care of this. I'm Tom Martino. We got a lot more to talk about on the Troubleshooter Show. Don't forget, if you're going away, referralist.com to protect you and save all your problems for me.
Hi, this is Ken Moon for Quality First.
running business.
Tom, what?
She should have a bad business certificate.
Yeah, but they may not. They may not count that.
Well, that's they'll use them.
She wants a U.S. one.
But she hasn't needed a birth ticket in 60 years.
I've got a lady right now from Haiti. That was born in Haiti and was in the National Guard in New York, and her birth certificate. Well, the place that kept records in Haiti blew away in a hurricane.
I know that the military's been hands on.
Yeah, well, the military.
There's got to be something about
the military record thing in New York that had records burned down in 1974.
No, Kansas, but I thought they said Kansas.
I know, I got to go. That's why I'm going. I'm bouncing down the different ones right now with her. But they were the ones that told me to ask if she had a bad signal certificate. They said that they can use that.
I'll guarantee you that. They won't do that for a passport.
No, not for a passport, but she could get a.
This is Denver's Talk Station 630.
I gotta look at my notes for this all that.
Radio station with Russ
Trying to get a passport.
Michael
Trying to get a passport.
KHOW Denver.
As a kid.
59 years ago, I don't think they cared, did they?
The memo is out from Lisa Brady. President Trump calls it a disgrace.
And when you look at that, and you see that, and some of the other things, what's going on, a lot of people should be ashamed of themselves, and it's much worse than that.
The memo claims that the FBI and the Justice Department could not have secured a warrant for surveillance on the Trump campaign without relying on the disputed anti-Trump dossier, and that the role of the Democratic National Committee and the Hillary Clinton campaign in helping to finance the dossier was not disclosed at the time. Fox's Catherine Harris.
So the memo was stating that when they went to get these surveillance warrants from the FISA court, they said, this is information we have from the dossier, but they didn't give the National Security Court full visibility on who was financing the dossier, who was
financed by the Democrats
behind the opposition.
Actually, by Hillary's campaign.
The memo states that this was known to the FBI and Justice Department, but it was still not provided.
There's been swift reaction from both sides of the aisle.
I ran for office.
Fox's Jared Halpern, live in Washington.
The top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, Mark Warner, calls the memo an unprecedented public disclosure of classified material that will make it far more difficult for intelligence committees to conduct bipartisan oversight. Warner claims underlying documents the memo is based on do not support the conclusions reached in the Republican-drafted document. Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee want their own memo release and request House Paul Ryan says he does support what it is mostly scrubbed of sources and methods.
And it's the Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee accuse Republicans of being complicit in an effort to obstruct justice because of the memo's release. Meantime, former FBI is going to be one of our Comey just tweeting that the memo is misleading and asking
That's right. So I was just
looking for ways to save with your Medicare plan. Walgreens.
I'm so sorry about that. I got you a plate and everything, and I. Come on.
Low copays for you. So bring your prescription.
So Drew is saying.
So you got right on the fight with Floyd Mayweather versus what's the guy's name?
901.
Yeah, he's a has-been now.
He is a has-been. I think Patriots are going to win again.
How do you go against Brady?
I know.
How do you? I'd love to see Philly
win. Last year, he's been there so many times. Oh my God.
That was ridiculous.
That was the greatest Super Bowl ever.
But then, you know, like the Seattle, when they don't run the ball and they throw it. I mean, they got, what's his name, the running back, that they can't stop.
Spot, she said, has an echo.
Into connections. Just visit Vistaprint.com and use promo code.
Here, hold on one sec.
Check out. That's Vistaprint.com, promo code 3030.
This report is brought to you.
Yeah, actually, a lot of the new ones you sent me have kind of an echo to them. Weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like if you're.
It was from my air. Those are the ones I think I cut down from my air checks, because my studio is really good.
Really?
Yeah, the air checks had a weird kind of sound.
So they can hear me in the background.
No, it wasn't the ones. They weren't the ones I recorded. They were the ones that I took off the show log.
Tom always yells at me for talking too loud.
My voice is too loud too.
So what is the points now, Kevin, for the Super Bowl?
4.5.
That's
It opened at 6.5. I dropped 2 points.
so much more that distracts you from generating revenue.
Tom, what electrician have we had
have
talked about lately
and
that has
typically save you 10%
special or something to go out for under $129?
Used vehicles for your business, you've got to talk about leasing.
Or come out an electrician?
That's Alliance.
Okay, it's a 149 fine, or 149 fine fixture free.
Perfect. Includes parts.
It includes parts, and it's with Plumline.
Come on, that's what I thought. I wanted to verify.
586-1086.
Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no, that's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison, why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm curious how they do this. You know, this Natalie Wood, they say they're reopening the case now.
Yeah, 4 years later.
Now, they say she was murdered, right?
They're
By her
saying
husband?
They're not sure.
he is a person of interest.
Is that the one pushed off the boat?
Yes.
But why are they?
It was like accidental death.
They said a new witness has come forward or something. It's like, well, there's only 4 people on the boat.
Is that all there was?
Yeah.
I remember.
The captain and 3 people.
Christopher Walken
and these 2, yes.
Oh, fuck, he did it. I mean, that guy is the weirdest guy in the world.
Forgot about those.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. This hour brought to you by Plumline Services. They are doing a couple things. First of all, they have their furnace check for $39. They have their furnace free with the purchase of an accompanying air conditioner, and you can buy whatever air conditioner you want. It doesn't have to be the best, which means they're not pushing you into a high-price unit to get you to pay more. So you can buy medium, low line, and then you get the accompanying furnace, and you get that free. And, of course, there's the $149 fine fixer free when it comes to electric, which includes parts. I'm Tom Martino, your consumer advocate, where we solve problems, answer questions, say complaints. Today is Car Day. I'll introduce our guest in a minute here. We're having fun. You don't have to call about cars, but it's an emphasis today, but we're talking about other things. PlumlineServices.com, 303-586-1086 is their number. 303-586-1086, plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. So welcome to the show. We have Blinker.com with us. That's an app that sells cars, and it really turns you into a dealer. It does all the back-end office work, all the forms, all the releases, all the title work, really, because it's hard to sell a car. You may not think so, but it is. They do it all for you. You can sign everything on the phone. You literally, with your finger, sign on the phone. Everything's done legally, ethically, and it's no charge at all to you. They can even provide financing, and that's how they make money. So for those who finance, instead of going to a bank, Blinker does the financing for you. So if you have a car you want to sell and somebody wants a loan, they can go get a loan right through the app, and everything's done. Speaking of that, I have a question on that. Do you guys do anything with title searches and liens? How do you assure the title is merchantable?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And
we
this
have
is Andrew Price with Blinker.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. We have title clerks actually in our office. So as someone submits the title, we have you take a picture of the title front and back when you're in the middle of the transaction after you list your car for sale, and we do this both for registration and for the title. Have you submit that, and then we have title clerks that have 20 years in DMV experience that then verify that that title is real and approve it to be processed.
Wow, that's cool. So they do title work too. Do you need a notary ever?
Part of that is we have notaries on staff. It's actually part of the same team.
That's cool.
Yep.
Blinker.com, it's everything. Okay, Ruth doesn't have a birth certificate. Can Blinker do that?
Nope.
Okay. Hey Ruth, how do you go your whole life without a birth certificate? Has it ever caused you problems before?
Not until really after 9/11.
And why do you need one now?
Well, because I can't even my driver's license, my back is up against the wall. My driver's license I had lost, and I went to get it renewed, and they wouldn't renew it. And they said that Social Security, and this is the kicker, Social Security has me down as born in 53 when I was born in 58. And now they think I can retire, but of course I can't. I would like to. But,
okay.
They won't renew my license.
So you literally need a birth certificate created. We need to find out the guy Obama used. Basically.
Oh, now listen.
Okay, so how do we get this done? I don't know. How closely? I'm half kidding. How closely do they examine birth certificates? Really, they're so varied. How closely do they examine them? Do you have to show originals? When I don't know. I'm asking.
I have to show an original, and I've even gone to the Mexican consulate.
How many people have originals? I don't know. So what do we do? Let's think about it. What do we do? What do we do?
I got a lawyer once. They wanted $2,700 up front and didn't even know actually how to proceed. I have written the governor. I've written my congressman.
Well, the governor, I mean, really, truly, what do we do? There has to be other people in this situation. There have to be.
I would think, and I don't know. And I'm now, I can't even, after December 13th of this year, when my birthday comes again, I won't even be able to get on a plane, Tom.
You're right. This is dangerous.
And I pay my taxes. Every year they take my money.
There's got to be a way to remedy this. You can't be the only one. How about, I know way, hold on. How about sporting some suntan and a sombrero and just tell them you just snuck in and get your license?
I know.
You know, that's what they say, and it's not true. You can't just do that. No, I'm making a joke. Because I'm told that undocumented people who come in without the proper documentation, I'm told they can get all of everything they need. They can't get a driver's license, right? And if they do get one, how do they do it? I'm not kidding. How do they do it?
I have no idea, but it's like, you know what? I've been driving since I was 16. And you know what? Now they're not even going to renew my license.
There's a black market for everything else.
Well, that's what you
Okay, listen. Okay, let's go to pretend land.
Okay.
And I want to. What would be the harm of someone, now I'm not recommending this for Ruth, but what if someone literally paid to have one created? When I said what do they do to check, what do they do? I mean, really, what do they do? Because really, with Obama, and I'm not kidding, there was no way to check. There was no way to check to see if it was valid or not. No way. No one could check. It just looked valid, so everyone said it was. But there's no sequential numbering that people checked with his. There's nothing. So why can't you do that?
I wish I could. I wish it was that.
And I'm not saying he made his. I'm just saying, why can't you have someone make one for you? If you brought it in and it looked a little older and it was done like that, who would say this is not valid? I mean, if you give the true year, I'm not talking about harming anyone. You give the true year, true everything true.
Paper saying when I was born, and even my school records, and I have affidavits. I've got DNA from my mother and father. They're both American.
What's DMA?
Plymouth, Massachusetts.
What's DMA?
DNA.
Oh, DNA. Oh.
So I'm not, both my parents are American. They're both deceased, but I do have all the papers. But Social Security, when I go there, they won't even look at it. Now I know why they're behind glass.
It looks like that's been cleared out of the way. No major delays in your drive on the highways in town. I-70, I-25, both up to speed in the heart of the city. Up in the high country, there's a rollover wreck reported on the northbound side of 285 there near Parmalee Gulch. I'm not seeing any major delays at this time. Just approach with caution. For more real-time traffic updates on your route, download the new Total Traffic app powered by Traffic Karma. The weather forecast, partly sunny today with a high near 52. Right now, mostly cloudy and 53 in Denver. With your traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner, 630 KHOW.
This report is brought to you by Hallmark. This Valentine's Day, tell the ones you love just how much you care in a Valentine's Day card from Hallmark. It's a sweet gesture that will leave a special someone smiling. Find the perfect card today in the card department, wherever Hallmarks are sold.
If I say you should be leasing vehicles for your business, you might think about the last time you rented a car at the airport. But when you let Alliance Leasing help you acquire and manage your company's cars or trucks, you'll be in a lease with no mileage penalties, no wear and tear penalties, and no early termination penalties. Hey, it's Ross, and it might sound too good to be true, but I guarantee you it isn't. Alliance Leasing will help your business save time and money. Learn more at alliance.lease. That's alliance.lease. Alliance Leasing is your key to the perfect fleet.
Michael Brown here. Let's you and I go on a trip to Alaska together. I'm teaming up with Holiday Vacations for an inside passage cruise and tour of all the great sites in Alaska. This 12-day excursion gives us a chance to experience a 3-night cruise through the inside passage and then travel the Alaska Highway from the Yukon all the way to Alaska's interior. To sign up or get additional information, all you need is call Holiday Travel at 1-800-826-2266 and use the keyword Denver. 800-826-2266, keyword Denver.
People have been having estate sales the same way for decades, but we're here to change all of that. Hi, I'm Diana, the general manager for Everything But the House here in Denver, Colorado. We truly handle it all, from cleaning out your entire home to selling your items on ebth.com, the world's premier estate sale marketplace. We'll even take out the trash and donate what can't be sold. Before your items are professionally photographed, cataloged, and listed to a global audience of bidders, our expert team of authenticators will carefully inspect every item in your collection, ensuring your valuables are sold at true market value. In fact, you'll typically earn 3 to 5 times more for your items than you would anywhere else. Whether you're downsizing, moving, or clearing out a loved one's estate, visit ebth.com now and learn why more than 400 sellers a month trust their estates, collections, and belongings with Everything But the House, the premier estate sale marketplace. Get your free consultation today at ebth.com. That's ebth.com.
Michael Brown, afternoons 4 to 7.
The FISA memo is going to be released. Expect every conflicting perspective to be aired by every talking head. It's going to be a carnival atmosphere. Join me Friday at 4 for more Irreverent Talk Radio.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. I'm looking online for people that never had birth certificates, what they do. First of all, there is no official definition of a birth certificate. No official. No one ever says they have to be registered either. There is no central registry for birth certificates. It is just a hodgepodge lodge when it comes to birth certificates. So, technically, if you create one, who's even to say that's against the law? If you're not lying, cheating, or stealing, and you're simply creating a record of your accurate birth, what would make it not a birth certificate? Yvonne, welcome to the show. What's going on, Yvonne?
Hi.
What's happening?
I went to the emissions yesterday because, I needed to renew my plate.
Yes.
And everything passed. I drove off, and I parked in the parking lot next to him because I needed to make a phone call, and my car started idling high. So
right after emissions, did they do the rev up test on the emission?
Yes.
Okay.
So and every time I turned on the heater is when it happened.
Wait.
And
what happened when you turn on the heater?
It started
the idle will go high?
Idling,
high.
Idling high.
And what kind of vehicle is this?
This is a 2004 PT Cruiser.
Yeah, I don't see anything that they could have done.
Wait, first of all, what would cause idling to step up when you turn the heater on? That opens the heater core, right? What would happen?
No, it opens a door.
Well,
the
thermostat, right?
Only if it engages the air conditioning compressor. Like with the defrost, it may pop the idle up a little
But
bit.
not that. What about just heat?
No. Nothing.
Okay.
So
is it like clockwork? If you literally turn on the heat, the RPM goes up. If you turn it off, it goes down.
No, just on the AC end of it.
No, I'm asking her.
Oh.
Yvonne, when does it go up?
When I turn it on.
The heat.
Yes.
And you're positive the AC is not on.
The AC is not on.
Now, when you do this again, okay, and you turn it off, it'll go back down?
Yes.
A direct connection.
You have the defroster on?
No.
That is so odd because there's nothing I can think of that's connected that would cause your idle to go up and down. What if it's the thermostat kicks in and it lets the fluid flow through? It doesn't do anything to the engine to signal more?
It's not electrical.
No,
yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But is there a sensor that senses a drop in that coolant pressure or something that would cause it to kick up? No? Okay. Like a car. When a car cools by circulating stuff through the radiator, right? And that's the same stuff that heats, right? All right. How does it know when to kick on the fan? Temperature, right? Has a sensor.
Yes.
Okay. Can that sensor, can turning on the heat drop temperature to a point where it kicks something on which affects the RPM?
I guess anything is possible. Is the engine check light on?
It did go on after.
Why? What does that tell you, Mo?
Well, I mean, if the engine check light came on, there's got to be a trouble code in the computer system, so if she gets it scanned, we should know what it is.
It wouldn't even scan. I drove probably a half a block, and it started like it was like
we can't think of anything that emissions could have done.
Out. And so I pulled into another parking lot, and I let it run for a while, and then I went to go drive again. Listen, I didn't even turn the car off, and it did it again. So I pulled into the AutoZone, and I turned it off, and then I turned it back on, and it did start. So I went in, and I told him if he could come and check it, that I had just came from emissions. So he came out, he checked my oil and everything. He had added a quart of oil, whatever. So we let it run for a while, and it still was doing the same thing. I went back in. No, all of a sudden the car just turned off, and it would not start again after that. So I went in. He got his voltage, the meter.
You went into who?
Into the AutoZone.
Okay.
And so he brought out the meter that checks, because the check engine light was on. It would not even register. It would not even communicate with it. Nothing.
Well, then you have to identify why there's no communication first so that you can scan it. Once that is established, once you have communication, then you can scan it. Then we can retrieve trouble codes and figure out what the heck's going on.
Let's get right to it. Why do you care? Just get it fixed. Why do you care? In other words, what is causing it? Why not just go to a mechanic and have them fix it? I'm curious more than anything. Why?
Well, I want to know why it happened after I got emissions.
Well, maybe it's just coincidental, Yvonne. Not everything is caused by it could be coincidental. It could have been something was knocked loose or out of adjustment when they revved it up. But just to ease your mind, they're not going to pay you. I mean, you're not going to get any kind of compensation to get it fixed. So if that's why you're going through this journey, you're wasting your time. They're not going to pay anything. First, you can't even prove it, that it happened only then. You can't. There's no proof whatsoever. That nixes it right there. Second, even if they are responsible for in some way, it was consequential, meaning they didn't do anything negligent. If they did their normal testing procedures and your engine blew, they wouldn't be responsible. So the fact that your engine now idles weird, they're not responsible. I think you're wasting way too much time trying to figure out why. There are plenty of things that go wrong with a car that people don't know why, and they get them fixed. It doesn't cost any more to get it fixed, whether you know why or not. You see what I'm saying? So that's where I'm puzzled. So maybe you can clear that up for me.
Well, I just called you because I wanted to know if you knew anybody that this has happened before.
Right. We'll hear about it.
It doesn't turn on at all. It doesn't do nothing.
No, so now you can't even start it.
Nope.
Okay, hold on a second. You can't even start it now. Okay, Yvonne, where is your car?
I had it towed to my house.
Okay, you need to get somebody over there who can do some, or take it to their shop. Tell me about your car. Did she tell us? It's a 2004 what?
PT Cruiser.
How many miles?
144.
Well, it could be anything. But Yvonne, were you hoping that they would pay for it?
No, not at all. I just want to know what the heck happened to it.
Okay, let's find out what the hell happened to it. I mean, maybe let's find out who can go over there. I can't get you a free call, but maybe we can get you a courtesy call. I don't know. See if we can get her a courtesy call. Daff, what were you going to say?
Someone called and said that the OBD, that maybe that shorted it out.
What OBD? Can somebody
the OBD
help?
reader.
What is that?
They plug in the scan tool at the emissions when they run it to check for codes.
Oh, and how?
It may have somehow shorted and blew a fuse.
Okay.
It's possible.
Which would cause a no communication.
Hey, Yvonne. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not Yvonne. Hold on. I'll get right to you. Yvonne, does it, when you turn the key, is it completely dead?
No, the radio, everything goes on.
Does it crank like?
No, nothing.
Does it click?
No.
Guys, what do you think? Doesn't even click.
Yeah, some sort of an electrical issue.
Well, yeah, A to Z, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's so much.
If an alternator went bad and the regulator went out on it, it could cause that to go up and down.
Ryan has an idea for the driver's license. That poor woman who was born in Chihuahua, Mexico, and she has no birth certificate. What do you got in mind there, Ryan?
Yeah, there's a story. It was on a podcast called Radio Lab. It's called The Girl Who Doesn't Exist. And she was basically born at home, homeschooled her entire life, never saw a dentist, went to a hospital, but it's kind of her, what she had to go through to get a birth certificate, because basically she didn't exist.
So what did she do?
She had to go through the state. She had to get a congressman to sponsor her. There's a lot, but if you look into it, her name is Alicia Faith Pennington. And this was fairly recently that she did this.
Now,
but it was an ordeal for her.
Alicia?
Alicia Faith Pennington. And she was in Kerrville, Texas.
I see she's all over the internet here. She must be famous. Help me prove it. And then, okay, help me prove it. A woman, Alicia Faith Pennington, published a video on YouTube, and she said she had a conundrum. According to Pennington, she lacked the basic documentation for American life, and she did not exist. I have nothing to prove my identity. Wow. So, anyway, this was in Snopes. They're saying that it's not true. Not true. So, I think that's what they're saying. Yeah, they're saying but anyway, let's figure this out if we can. If anyone knows how someone would get a birth certificate, let us know.
It could affect things like that, sure. Anytime you get below 12 volts, strange stuff.
Sure, it can go high, too, and cause it to
Well, the idle could be erratic just because of the low voltage.
Yeah. And so when she adds that load to the fan, it makes it go.
I think what she said, when she turns the fan on, the idle will go up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's killing the voltage. The voltage is dropping enough that it's making the
Anytime you get below 12, strange things happen.
Yeah,
you would think, though, when she turns the fan on, the RPMs would go lower. Her light would have went on right away.
Where do they come out now?
The regulator was why did they have to store the regulator in there when it starts going nuts, either letting it go too high or too low?
And the regulator on that car is in the alternator.
Yeah, and I know, but it can cause the weirdest things when a regulator goes bad. I've seen them do everything weird. It makes no sense, but. And then it died.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were there.
So, it wasn't charging the battery. She just got enough.
Things changed.
Yeah, it doesn't even click. But you did say the radio works and everything.
Well, she just got enough battery for that. It's a regulator went bad. You mean the alternator went bad?
Interesting innovative things are happening in teaching today. So it's time to put it back on your list.
Remember the old VW square backs?
You had it right the first time.
Volkswagen square backs?
Yeah, the Porsche motor in there.
Yeah, they had the suitcase motor in them.
Yep.
When the alternator went bad or regulator went bad, that Bosch fuel injection would go crazy.
No major
It would overinject or underinject.
On the freeway system,
Unless they had exactly
flowing on the eastbound side of
13.8.
I-70 between Peoria and
voltage
Savannah, and a little bit of flowing on westbound 6th Avenue, either side of Federal, nothing out of the ordinary. I-25 pretty much up to speed downtown, And no delays on I-70 traveling up the high country. We're back on 285 there northbound where Birmingham Gulch.
Are you on West Coast back?
Traffic at this time, no delays.
3 blocks west of the
forecast. Partly sunny.
You're right. Right next to
Tonight, partly cloudy in the overnight hours.
by y'all.
Low of 34.
You just said I'm 20 from Sims.
Oh, on next break.
I can put in an extra minute, go.
Nah, no, I'd rather do next time.
Give her a free again.
Then I'll just
Hey,
right
what's your
away.
quote? After we discounted the coach $100 to get her so she could afford it.
Who's this?
Oh, a complaint that we.
I wonder how Al's went. I wonder how Al's went.
I'll call him. I'll
Yeah,
call him
yeah.
afterwards.
Well, that sucks when you get to that point where you end up having to go to court to fix it. I mean, it's just. I'm sure he did everything possible.
want to see that you receive
She wanted everything free.
No, I
You're saying the
understand.
memo is misleading, that if you read the rest, if you get the rest of it, you'll find out that they've done nothing wrong.
Of course they're saying that, because you're never going to see the rest
Who
of
said
it.
that?
Democrats.
Just saying that whole thing about that girl not
He was the one that wrote it.
made
I
up.
was talking about the Trump
other loan program.
memos.
No, not yours. Hold on. Whoever, I don't know, who is this guy?
Duty military and
Okay, I thought it was
so you don't have to wait to take advantage of such incredible savings.
Is Snoop saying the whole story's made up?
We'll listen to your financial.
No, they're not. I was looking at it. They're very confusing the way they write.
Okay.
Snoop's is not saying one way or the other. They're just
Right.
reiterating what she said.
Or American
Dow falls 500?
Because of that.
Falls was the wrong place.
I know 500 though.
You decide.
Yes,
6:30 K-How.
I don't know if there's that much correlation.
Hi, Tom Martino here. I hope you never need Wink and Wink. They're bankruptcy attorneys, winkandwink.com. They do Chapter 13, they do Chapter 7s, and they do debt settlement. If you have a death in the family, a divorce, maybe something happened, a tragedy, or you're just plain stupid, winkandwink.com, 303-410-1720, 410-1720. Okay, our guest today, Mark Machowski, Budget A1 Transmission Auto Repair. Kevin Culkin, Sheridan Auto Tech, Andrew Price with Blinker.com, the app for selling. We have a feedback on Ruth Larry. Ruth, who needs a birth certificate. What's your feedback?
Yeah, hey Tom, I had this situation happen to me years ago where I lost my license and I went to get them back. I had to have my birth certificate, so I didn't have that. So what they told me was at the birth certificate office, I had to have like mail with bills and stuff like that. Bring 3 proofs of that in and go to my family doctor and have my doctor write a letter up saying that that's who I am and they've been seeing me for ever how long. And bring them that letter.
Now, where did this happen? What part of the country?
Well, this was in Alabama.
Okay, because I'm wondering.
Different, but
No, I was wondering if each state, and I'm positive that each state would have its own steps, its own procedure. Thank you, Larry. We have a comment on the PT Cruiser. It went through an emissions test. After that, it just was hesitating and running weird. A racing RPM, and then all of a sudden it doesn't start at all. Andy, what's your comment?
Hey, so on those PT Cruisers, there's a way that you can display the engine code on the dash. You can cycle the key somehow, and it'll display the engine code there for you.
Really? Without a scanner?
Yeah.
How do you know this?
I don't remember the sequence because I had to do it once on the car that I flipped.
You talking about a blinking light? The way the lights flash or blink?
No, that's...
It'll actually display the P01762 or whatever on where it would say the mileage.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that. Thank you. I didn't know that. But why... I often wondered, why don't cars have... I mean, if they have the technology for the computer, you know the technology is there to simply display the code. Why don't they? Why do they make you go through all of that? Why do they? Why can't you simply press a diagnostic button and get the code readout? Why not? It is so silly. By the way, the girl that doesn't exist, that Snopes did not say it was false. It did not make a comment one way or the other. Mike, what is your comment? Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, the one with the Chrysler PT Cruiser.
Right.
What does she expect? It's a Chrysler. I mean, Chrysler, Dodge, Plymouth, or as I like to call them, Plymouth. They've been crap for over 40 years. There's a reason why they went bankrupt twice.
Do you think so, really? They're not crap now. You think they are?
They're not. Yeah, look at the Fiat 500. It's a POS. It's the worst car.
Guys, what do you think about is he being unfair with Chrysler products, or do you think he's right? Really? In general.
Chrysler built a good product, but when Chrysler and Mitsubishi were together, yeah, they had all kinds of issues. But since then, no, I think it's a good product.
Yeah, they're okay. They are on the bottom end of the scale, I think.
Why is that? What about Dodge? Same thing, Dodge
Same
trucks?
thing, yeah.
Chrysler, Dodge?
Well, the trucks are a little different, but I mean, it's
yeah.
You know, if you had to rank them, Chrysler, I think, would be pretty close to the bottom most of the time.
Mac, what's happening, Mac?
I have a question,
Yeah.
Tom. I buy a car or a motorcycle, I get the title, go down and register it. A couple of weeks later, some guy shows up at my front door. This is in theory. Shows up at my front door, and he's got a piece of paper that collateralizes it, saying, "Hey, I lent so-and-so $5,000 on this vehicle."
Tough.
What happens at that point?
If it's not if it's not recorded, it's not a lien.
Well, it happened with a house.
Yeah, but hold on. A house is different, okay? Right. Even though with a house, it has to be recorded, okay? And I could have fought that all day long. You can't put a lien on a car without, a real lien. It has to be recorded. Now, are you talking about a mechanic's lien? Guys, when you put a mechanic's lien on a car, isn't that recorded?
It's no good if it's not recorded.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that could possibly happen.
Could the guy, let's say the paper is a year old, could the guy go and register it?
Okay. So you're saying, what if a guy worked on a car, never got paid? Meanwhile, you buy the car. Can he go put a lien on the property itself? No, because the new owner doesn't.
Not even a mechanic. If I buy it from an individual and he lent you.
No, you can't. The answer is no. You can't just lien people's property with any kind of security interest unless it's recorded against the person.
Where would you record it?
You would record it at motor vehicle for a lien, and for a house, you would do it at the county clerk. You would do it again. It literally goes against the deed.
Okay, good. Thank you so much.
So now, why do they do title insurance? This is interesting. People say, well, wait a minute, Tom. If it's not recorded, what am I buying title insurance for? Do you know? Does anyone know?
Mistakes made to the title?
This is what, it could be a mistake, but here is what you're actually insuring. It's really silly. Do you know what you're insuring when you insure title? Most people don't know what they're insuring. Do you really know what you're insuring? You are taking out a policy from a company who says, we have searched your title. Hold on. And this is the condition. It doesn't say it's clear. It says, this is the condition of your title, and we guarantee it. Remember what they're saying? This is the condition of your title, and we guarantee it. Meaning that our search is accurate. That's all it means. Which means, under the exceptions, there are a number of exceptions. And every one of those exceptions you better read, because it may say there's a $50,000 lien on it. And you can literally get a title policy saying that they're not insuring your title. They're insuring their title search. That's what they're insuring. They're saying, we have searched the title, and this is what we found. That's the only thing they're insuring. They're not saying it's clear at all. The other thing is it also has a disclaimer that any unrecorded liens or claims are not covered. Specifically. So if a guy shows up and says, I did that fence is mine, you got to fight it out. The title company only insures its search. 303-713-TALK. Chuck wants to give feedback. Did you have something on that title? Did you want to? Oh, okay. Anybody can chime in, by the way, when I'm talking to you. Okay, Chuck, what's happening on this birth certificate? What's your comment?
Well, look, I lived for several years in Mexico. There's something wrong with her story. The first thing is, how did she get back across the border? You just don't bring a baby across the U.S. border or any border in the world.
I never thought of that.
You don't bring a baby, but even if everything went wrong, and so I know she will. You talk to her, she'll come out with all the excuses why this happened. There's one person who can help. She drives down on Leesdale to the Mexican consulate. She said she talked to the Mexican consulate. She may have talked to a 25-year-old clerk
You're right.
behind a window. She asks for an appointment with the Mexican consulate. He's there. I used to know the one who was there till 2 years ago. They love to talk to people. And he knows everything. He's on that level, the consulate level, especially in a city like Denver.
What would they do? What do you think they could do?
Well, they'd have to get the story straight, and they would probably have her go down to Chihuahua if she knows the hospital she was born in. I'm not even sure if she does.
How is she going to get to Chihuahua? She can't get over the border.
Oh, she can get over the border. She just can't come back without the birth certificate.
Well, so then if she goes over and that's silly, though, truly.
Well, then she sends someone. I mean, there may be no solution in that case if she has to go down to Chihuahua. But maybe, just
almost anything can probably be done with phone calls or online, right?
Well, it'll be documents. In Mexico, they don't use phone calls. They use documents. And very complex and very expensive documents to fill out. But the consulate can tell her exactly what to do. No one else. You go down there, and as I said, you don't go and ask the security guard for an answer for a situation like this.
All right, well, thank you very much. Let's talk to Mark. Mark, what's going on?
Tom, hey, it's Mark the Bin Guy. How you doing?
How are you doing, Mark? What's and you're also a wholesaler, car wholesaler.
Correct.
What's happening?
Hey, I used a hybrid shop to fix a car I had, and the guys were really cool.
What's a hybrid shop?
They just work on hybrids and electrics.
Okay.
And they were really cool. The guy gave me a pretty fair price, and I just kind of wanted to...
All right, who are they?
It's called Mile High Hybrid. They're at, like, I think, 5030 York. They're kind of in that weird area.
You should have recommended the referral list. We're always looking for shops that fit unique categories. That's cool. Because really, guys, do you guys work on... Thank you, Mark. Do you guys work on hybrids?
Yeah, we do all the time.
Yeah,
Okay. We have too, yeah.
So it's not a specialization? How about electric cars? Would you work on one?
Yes. Yeah.
No, come on. Wait. A DeLorean, not a DeLorean, I mean,
Tesla.
Tesla pulls in, and...
it depends on the model and everything, sure. But, I mean, it's more and more prevalent to everyday stuff.
But now, what do they have in common with conventional cars? What do they have in common? Are the suspensions relatively the same?
Yes. Sure.
Okay. And all the body components and the alignments, too?
Yeah.
Brakes?
Yep. And, with the information that we have with Mitchell on Demand.
The charging and everything else, so there's some differences there. But
yeah.
With Mitchell 2 on Demand, which we both have, gives us access to all kinds of procedures on how to fix things.
Yeah.
So we got it covered.
303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Hey, we have, after James, full wide open lines. You can get right through. What I love about this is we're going to let you do 30 seconds uninterrupted. If you just want to give a speech, a rant, a rave, whatever you want to do, straight up 30 seconds uninterrupted, or you want to just call up with any concern, 303-713-TALK. James, what's going on?
Hey, Mark. I was every time I travel, I live in La Junta, so I always have to travel a long way. I always watch your programs back on Facebook Live and listen to them in the car.
Yes, sir.
And I heard you talking about how people who use opiates or heroin get detoxed by using marijuana.
No, I didn't. No, I don't. I didn't say that. I don't. Actually, I don't remember who said that or if it was said. I usually remember everything. But yesterday we had the Raleigh House on, but somebody mentioned detoxing with marijuana.
No, this was a long time ago.
Oh!
You said marijuana would help.
Who said that?
You did. You said marijuana would help, and I'm letting you know.
No, Tom Martino would never say that, because Tom Martino doesn't think marijuana helps anything except pain.
Well, yeah, then it had to have been somebody else.
Okay.
But, I mean,
Go
I
ahead.
did hear on this program.
What did you hear? Go ahead and make it straight. Go ahead.
I heard that marijuana will help you detox if you are on those medications, and I'm here to tell you, I'm living proof that it's 100% correct.
Oh, it is correct? Why?
Yes, because if I didn't have, I was on 60 milligrams of oxycodone every 4 hours with 120 micro fentanyl patch.
Oh my God!
Yeah, and my doctor got force retired. And when everybody else ran for other people, I said, you know what, this is time for me to stop. And I locked myself into the house, and I used marijuana in the morning and the afternoon as a brunch, I mean, as everything. And it got me through the whole entire thing, and I'm now 2 years clean.
Oh, James, my God, you were on lethal doses of that stuff.
I know, it was bad, and it was all given to me by a doctor.
How could, I mean, you had a patch of how much?
120 micrograms of fentanyl.
And that would deliver how much per day?
I'm not sure, maybe the 120 micro.
How often do you change patches?
You're supposed to change them every 3 days, but he had me change them out every 2 days instead, so that way I knew I was getting the full effect.
Plus you were taking every 4 hours 60 milligrams?
Yes, sir.
Of hydrocodone?
No, of oxycodone.
Okay, oxycodone. Okay, now, oh my God, how did you breathe?
I don't know, my body was just so used to it.
Were you high ever?
No, I had to take a lot of them just to get high.
And what were you taking them for?
I had them for back pain and knee pain, and people told me that if you come off them, then the pain will be a lot less. And I didn't believe them, and then when I came off, the pain is tolerable now.
No, I know it. That's because these pills actually increase your pain sensitivity. We got more coming right back.
From the L&L Heating and Air Conditioning Traffic
Right
Center.
down. He's not dead.
Yeah.
I'm a 40 every 4 hours.
Yeah.
You're saying coming off of it?
41? 40 every 4 hours.
And a bit of 41 speeds, both directions of I-70.
But I have chronic pain. It's not, when the pain goes away, like it did with this guy, once you heal, then the drug is no longer being used for the pain. It's being used to make you high or whatever. But I can probably, I've been on it 21 years. But I can probably never get off. Because my foot scalds. I mean, I smell my skin burning when I first start burning. So I had 6 back surgeries. I have a spinal cord injury.
This report is brought to you by
And a spinal cord injury, I begged them to cut my foot off. I said if they cut the foot off, I'd still feel it. Because it's here. That's where it's at. I mean, it's a miracle drug for some of us that need it.
Sure.
But
it's overdone like almost every other
unbelievably
prescription.
dangerous because these little pills, I keep them locked up, I keep them away. If the kids or a dog or you, if you chewed one of these up, it would kill you.
Really?
They're time released over time. Matter of fact, they're a little tiny brown pill, and when you poop them out, it's the same pill, but it's white. The drug just leaches out of it. But if you actually chew one up, which is what addicts do, they will make you high. They'll make you high, but it releases all at once. Oxycontin that they talk about is so dangerous, and it is very dangerous. If my kids, grandkids, or a dog ate that, they'd kill them.
So if I took one right now, well, if you just take it, it's
if
fine.
you're a healthy adult, you'd probably be stoned out of your mind, but you're probably puking your guts out for the next 6 hours.
Wow.
But if you chewed it up, you'd quit breathing.
If you're looking for a
And that's why this is so dangerous. It's very dangerous. You don't just get to that level overnight. It takes years to build up to it, and then you get a level. And like in my case, if I would love to be off. We've tried 3 times. But to lock yourself up in a room and just let it go, he's lucky he's not dead.
Yeah, why? He's awesome.
I know, but he's very damn lucky. He's very healthy.
To be at the levels he was at to go cold turkey was so.
My wife detoxed herself from painkillers. She was in our bedroom 24/7, day and night, for like 4 weeks.
Didn't they get her down off of or something, though?
Was that?
Didn't they give her other drugs?
No, she just said, I'm just going to, well, she would order them from Canada, get them illegally.
Yeah.
Just to get high on them.
Yeah.
She was hooked on them for like 4 years.
I've never been.
It really bothered me. When I see the UPS truck coming down, what the fuck's this? I signed for, what is this, Cheryl? Oh, those are my pills. And then I would hide them. I said, you're not getting them. Oh, God. She, painkillers. How did she get them over? She get them from Canada and these doctors from Mexico.
They don't do that anymore.
Well, they still keep on calling her.
400-0435.
Yeah.
Black market.
Oh, she'd come unglued if I kept it from her. I mean, literally like a maniac. $4 weeks, day in and day out. I have to bring her food, try to get her to eat, sweating. She did it all on her own.
I've tried to get off of twice. They put me on methadone, but the burn came back so bad.
Why don't you try marijuana?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK.
713-8255. Now, didn't we just shake James, or is this another one? I mean, is this the same one? All right, 303-713-TALK. Keep up with the staff. Okay, what's going on, Brian? Welcome, Brian. What's happening?
Hi, Tom. I just wanted to touch base with you in reference to a situation I encountered on an E470 toll road.
What happened?
Well, last year in July, I was on my way out to visit a friend who lived in Parker, and was going by the navigation on my phone, and I ended up getting on the toll road. Long story short, I was assessed an invoice, but the problem here is that they sent the invoice for the toll, which was like $3.40, to a previous address that I had lived at. My vehicle's registered at my current address.
Why? How did they have your old address? There must be a reason.
I have no idea. They said they based it off where your vehicle's registered. So then they ended up sending me, because I didn't pay the $3.40, I ended up getting sent to collections. And I got a voicemail the other day from a law firm, blank, blank, and blank. I don't even know. I called them up.
No, that's blank, blank, and blank. They're famous. Yeah.
Okay. And then, yeah, I ended up having to pay over $40 for what would be a $3 toll fee.
So, moral of the story is what?
Well, they sent me to collections, which is going to put a smear on my credit. And
I don't think it will. Maybe it will, but I doubt it.
Do you think? I mean, I've filed a dispute with the law firm. They told me to fax in
a dispute for the $40.
Yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't take a lot of time and energy, I would too. If truly they sent it to the wrong address, that would piss me off too. I had a medical bill when that happened. I said very clearly, they said, what's your address? I said, P.O. Box, blah, blah. They said, no. We need your physical address. I said, please hear me and hear me now. I do not get mail there. And I will not get mail there. I don't even have a mailbox. And they said, doesn't matter, we need a physical address. I said, okay, but take down my mailing address. I never got a bill, ever. It ended up in collections. It ended up on my credit. The same thing pissed me off. And I paid it, but I didn't pay any penalties, and I also got it taken off the credit report. But I don't think a toll thing would even make it to the credit report.
Well, yeah, I was interested that it made it to a law firm. You know, I get a call from an attorney's office saying, please call us. You know, I'm starting to freak out, wondering if I missed an HOA payment or something like that.
Yeah, well, that sucks. I don't believe it happened that way. You're missing something, because they wouldn't even have your address unless it's connected to your car. There is no magic there. They sent it to the one connected to your car. They don't maintain a separate data bank of addresses. So whatever was connected to your car came up. So you may want to ask someone to run your plates and correct that. Because even though it might be registered where you live, your plates are still pointing to an old address.
And would I do that through the DMV?
How would you run your plate? I have a friend who can do it. I don't know. I mean, you may want to ask a police officer that you want to correct it. You want to make sure it's reading the right address. So if you see a police officer, you might run a stoplight and see, and then when he comes over, say, hey, by the way, officer, what address came up? No, I wouldn't do that. I would just ask the police if they could do it, or how do they run plates? Somebody call and tell us, okay? Just listen, and maybe you can help. Now, Dennis, what's going on? Dennis.
Hi, Tom.
Hey.
I heard the guy call in at the top of the show with the stolen F-250. And those Ford Power Stroke diesel trucks getting stolen are becoming an epidemic.
They go to Mexico, right?
Pardon?
They go to Mexico.
That would be my guess, and, I hope at some point the FBI looks into this, because it's got to be some kind of an organized setup or a conspiracy.
Well, of course it is. It's a big, I wasn't kidding. It's a big Mexican ring. I mean, I say Mexican, I don't know if they're Mexicans, but I know that that's where most of them end up. Jacob, go ahead. What's happening?
I just wanted to say Philly all the way, right?
Philly, I want New England only because of Brady and the bunch, the Brady bunch. I just like them.
No.
Has anyone called them the Brady bunch before? I can't be the only one. Come on.
No more Brady.
Okay. Well, I don't know. They're favored, New England, right? Sandy, you want to give a shout out to who?
I do, to Mobile Mechanics up on Nile and West Colfax, kind of by the Mills Mall.
You know, I think we got another call on them. You had a good experience?
Great, for years. He only does Subarus, and he's not one of those mechanics where you bring your car in for one thing and it leaves with something else wrong. He's fantastic.
Now, you say Mobile Mechanics, so do they come to you?
You know they don't. I think that was...
What the hell they call him? Now, that's misleading.
It is, but boy, he's fantastic, and a lot of times I'll just call and explain it to him, and he diagnoses it over the phone, and damn if he isn't correct.
Well, thank you, Sandy. Mobile Mechanics, can you come to the house? No, we cannot. You're not mobile? No, we're not. What's your name? Mobile Mechanics. Okay, I'm Tom Martino. How's that? We got a lot more to talk about. We're simply out of time. I want you to have a great weekend. I want to say... shout out to Mark Machowski, Budget A1 Transmission Auto Repair, Kevin Culkin, Sheridan Auto Tech, and don't forget Blinker.com when you're buying or selling vehicles.
Never worry about breakdowns with Pro Auto Care. You'll have total peace of mind knowing you'll never be stranded because Pro Auto Care offers free roadside assistance for...
Before you get on the highway, read your license plates.